LSU's head football coach Ed Orgeron joins us at 7:30 a.m. Five-star offensive tackle Tristan Leigh joins at 8 a.m. And we have our OTB mailbag today. Get your questions in. Tweet them, ask them in the huddle, or Facebook Live using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. You can follow today's show by joining us inside the 104.5 ESPN Huddle app, brought to you by Bayou Ford, on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off the bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria, online, 104.5ESPN.com, powered and driven every single day by All-Star Toyota. Check us out on your smart speakers. We're on YouTube Live this morning. Google Off the Bench, YouTube, it'll pop up. Click the Watch Live button. Jordy Collada, T-Bob Hebert, Matt Musso, Dan Cardenas here with you until 9 a.m. this morning, until 10 a.m. this morning. OTB, 3 hours now rolling here on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. We're going to talk to Ed Orgeron, 7:30 this morning. Tiger's been hot on the recruiting trail. We'll talk to Coach about the success, some of the players that have been successful from his coaching staff as far as having success on the recruiting trail. A new coach to watch out for, maybe in Russ Callaway. We'll ask Coach about the responsibility of the young offensive mind that came over from Samford. And Liam Shanahan seems like he's making a run at the center position. We'll talk to Coach Ed Orgeron about it coming up at 7:30 this morning. And then another target for this LSU football team, 5-star offensive tackle Tristan Leigh from Virginia. Seems like LSU is the team to beat. We'll ask him an hour from now. Your mailbag questions, still opportunities to hop inside of the huddle. If you're watching on YouTube, you can get your questions there. All you got to do is drop the hashtag OTB mailbag. You can tweet into the show, and we'll get your questions asked and answered at 8:15, just like we do every Tuesday. Here are your headlines on this Tuesday, July 7th.
Headlines on Off the Bench.
Kansas City Chiefs made it official on Monday as they wrapped up the Super Bowl MVP quarterback Patrick Mahomes through 2031, a 10-year extension for the former league MVP. League sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter that the deal is worth $450 million over the 10-year period and could be worth up to $503 million. The extension includes a $140 million injury guarantee as well as a no-trade clause. It also includes the ability for Mahomes to have outs if certain guaranteed mechanisms aren't exercised. Mahomes had 2 years and a $27 million left on his current deal, 2.8 of this year and 24.8 in 2021. The 10-year extension puts him under contract with the Chiefs for the next 12 seasons.
Yeah, we can go through, we'll break it down more as the show goes on today. But this is one of those rare instances, Jordy, where, I feel like this is a deal that is actually great for both sides. And while when I initially heard the numbers, I was definitely of the opinion you cannot pay Pat Mahomes too much money. So, I didn't care what the number was. He was worth it. But when you look at how the Chiefs actually structured this deal, and how the cap hits, in theory, would rise parallel to the cap rising, the Chiefs have actually still managed to leave themselves room to be able to build a roster consistently around Mahomes for the next 12 years, while also managing to make him feel like he is taken care of and he got the money that he's looking for. That is the dream of any front office trying to come up with a contract for their major player. The Chiefs did that. They still have money now to go re-sign Chris Jones, their excellent defensive tackle. This has been a flawless offseason for Kansas City. And right now where I sit, Jordy, when you look at Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, and that front office, because of how manageable they made this contract, they are set up for a Patriots-like dynasty. They have put themselves in that position.
Tom Pelissero from the NFL Network was talking about the numbers on the deal.
This is a deal unlike anything that the NFL has really seen. And as I peruse this 117-page document, it's true. The short version of it is this. Patrick Mahomes gets $450 million in so-called new money over a 10-year extension. He also had 2 years and about $28 million left on his rookie contract. And there are $25 million in incentives tied to winning the MVP and reaching the Super Bowl starting in the 2022 season. That's how you get to that maximum $503 million number.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes locked up in Kansas City for the next 12 seasons. Also, shout out to Lee Steinberg here, who was the agent on this deal. Steinberg, who the movie Jerry Maguire was made after, suffered some hard times, really, in his career. Battled alcoholism, also battled bankruptcy, and to see him fight back to where he came from, where he was, where he fell to, and now to negotiate the richest contract in sports history with the Super Bowl MVP. Lee Steinberg, a success story for the sports agent in this as well.
This is where I am obligated to say, show me the money. That's what Pat did, and Kansas City followed through. Also, an element in all of this, and Mahomes talked about this, Jordy, given that his dad was a longtime professional baseball player, he said that they have a lot of, and he grew up with a lot of knowledge of how contracts work, and he knew what he wanted. And that is where this continues. This feels like a baseball contract, both in terms of volume and in complexity.
Last night's Major League Baseball released its schedule for the 2020 season. The defending World Series champion Washington Nationals will host the New York Yankees in the first game of the 2020 MLB season on July 23rd. That'll be followed by the Giants traveling to play rival Los Angeles Dodgers. ESPN will broadcast both games, the Nats and the Yanks, at 7 o'clock Eastern, so 6 o'clock Central Time. Giants and Dodgers will follow. All other teams will begin play on July 24th. Brandon Ingram of the New Orleans Pelicans was meeting with the media yesterday. He was talking about his personal decision to join the NBA, New Orleans in Orlando at the bubble.
Teammates knew that I didn't question it or anything. I just want to play basketball at the end of the day. I think me being, like I always go back to, me being hurt made me want to come out and play basketball all the time. So when I got the chance, and when I get the chance to do it, I'm just going to go do it and be full force it. And I know that my teammates know that I'm there 100%, 110%, so I got to be there, and it wasn't a question on it.
Lonzo Ball, point guard for the Pels, was talking about rookie Zion Williamson.
He looks amazing. He looks fully healthy. He looks even stronger than he was before, if that's even possible. But I was happy to see him, happy to see he's in shape, and looking forward to playing with him.
One more on the Pels and Williamson. Here's Brian Windhorst on SportsCenter talking about the Pels' playoff chances with a healthy Williamson.
Well, the table is set here, Jay. The Pelicans have drawn the easiest schedule, by percentages coming out of the shutdown, and Zion has had basically an off season here. As you mentioned, his first, most of his rookie season was kind of wrecked by that knee injury, and we really didn't see Zion at full power. Now he's healthy, and we often see rookies get a big bounce between their first and second year. Well, that's essentially what's happening here. So the table is totally set. The other thing is, look, we're concerned about the virus, and 3 of his teammates have it, but he has been healthy. His other star teammates, Drew Holiday and Brandon Ingram, have been working out and are healthy. And if they can keep that the case, they have a great chance of making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting 8 games. And here's something I was thinking about, Jordy. For once, the apathy out of New Orleans basketball fans is actually going to play in the Pelicans' favor. Okay, all of these other teams that are borderline playoff teams, they merely adopted the empty stadium. Okay, the Pelicans have grown up in it. They've been molded by it. They know how to make their own juice. They don't need a crowd in that building to get them rolling. Huge advantage for the Pellies going into Disney.
So there are your headlines. What's trending here on Off the Bench on this Tuesday, July 7th. You want to hear anything specifically from LSU's head football coach, hop inside the huddle. Or if you're watching on YouTube Live, no Facebook this morning. And also tweet into the show at OTB_ESPN. You want a specific question asked about a player, coach, to Ed Orgeron coming up here at 7:30 this morning. Tristan Leigh, who is a 5-star target for the LSU football team on the offensive line. He's one of the top tackles in the country, has LSU in the finalist. Will tell us where LSU sits in an hour. He'll be here at 8 a.m. this morning. And your mailbag questions at 8:15. Tuesday's edition of Off the Bench rolling here. Powered and driven, just like we are every single day, by All-Star Toyota.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Remember, you can get into Coy's Diesel today. Stop in today and see him over there on Airline Highway in Gonzales. You can call 225-647-3699. That's an emergency 24-hour phone number that's available to you. And remember, they offer roadside assistance, 24-hour roadside service. If you need to log online, you can. Easy. CoysDiesel.com. Over at Coy's, they proudly serve Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, surrounding areas by providing events to show appreciation to their customers. They also can help you with any type of light, medium, or heavy-duty diesel truck that you need service or maintenance to get back out onto the road today. Look online at CoysDiesel.com.
Yeah, and look, maybe you've got an older diesel vehicle, Jordy, and you're like, man, I just don't know if I'm able to find the parts that I'm looking for. How about this? So right when you go to CoysDiesel.com, Coys, C-O-Y, it says shop by vehicle. You choose a year, make, model. It goes all the way back to 97. You get all the parts you need. You need financing. You need it fixed. They got it all. One-stop shop. CoysDiesel.com. CoysDiesel.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hey, it's
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet. And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans born to run.
Ban high school sports through the fall. We'll discuss why on Tuesday's AFR. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Tuesday, full day of programming here for you. 3 hours of Off the Bench, walking you into Levitard, which will roll till noon, then hanging with Haney and Hester, and Haney, coming up from noon to 3 to 6 AFR, and then 6 to 8 game night with Jimmy Ott. Good stuff last night with Ott and Mintz making their debut. It'll look like they will have
our guy
some things to talk about here with some golf and some fights on the docket. So they've been breaking down a little bit of gambling that they'll have to discuss there. And we were talking in the headlines, and we're going to talk to Ed Orgeron coming up here in 15 minutes. So if you have some questions for LSU's head coach, you can hop inside the huddle. If you're watching this morning, we are not on Facebook Live. We are on YouTube Live, so it's easy to find us there. We appreciate you interacting and watching us on YouTube. Make sure and subscribe so that you get the notifications. Colin D'Angelo yesterday talking LSU recruiting was fantastic. Shea Dixon talking more specifically on players that LSU were targeting, like Tristan Leigh. Lee's going to be here at 8 o'clock this morning. All that stuff on Off the Bench's YouTube site. But we were talking in headlines about Patrick Mahomes becoming the highest paid player in sports history. I mean, this contract is the richest in sports history as he signed a 10-year contract extension with the Kansas City Chiefs that could be worth up to $500,000, could be up to worth $503 million over the next decade. It's worth $450 million, but with some guarantees and some of the incentives that Mahomes could hit, it could elevate it to $500,000. And T-Bob made the point, when you look at the deal, this is one where if you take a step back and glance at it, it really makes sense for both teams. You keep the most dominant player in the game in Patrick Mahomes, which he feels like he's still on the front side of his peak. Like it still feels like he's kind of climbing the mountain to consistently be as good as he's going to be, and which is scary to think about because you've not seen his skill set at that position a lot, especially at the rate that he's played it at, and to now have him locked up for the next 10 seasons. It just makes sense when you look at it in a sport and in a time where 10-year contracts don't make a lot of sense. This one almost makes too much sense.
Yeah. I mean, so you mentioned like his level of play being something that we don't see very often. His level of play is unprecedented, quite literally. I mean, that's not even an opinion. That's just a fact. He is the only quarterback ever before the age of 25 to be both an MVP and a Super Bowl MVP, a Super Bowl champion. I mean, the list goes on and on. I remember I crowned him earlier this year. We crowned him, really. Most people did out there in the public. We were talking about after that Super Bowl win, how there could be no doubt he is the best football player in the NFL. Not everybody was in agreement, but now there can be no doubt. And in my opinion, Jordy, I am ready to fully give myself over to the Pat Mahomes hype train. I think he's the best player in the league. I think there's an argument that he might be the most important athlete of his generation when this is all said and done. Think about it. This is the richest valued contract in all of sports. Yes, it's not fully guaranteed like a Mike Trout deal, but there's technically more money in the sport of football. If that doesn't show you how much he transcends anything that you would think of as normal. Like, this is a Michael Jordan type deal, and he has Michael Jordan type potential. Like, that's the craziest thing. That is not, that's not exaggeration. I mean, okay, look, I wrote down, I want to just get like a bunch of bullet points of stuff that Patrick Mahomes has already done before the age of 25. So he's Super Bowl champ, league MVP, youngest QB ever named Super Bowl MVP, first QB in history to win a league MVP and a Super Bowl before turning 25, 3 double-digit comebacks to win those playoff games, including a 10-point deficit in the Super Bowl, which you won by 11. They were down 10 in the fourth, a 10-point deficit in the fourth quarter, and they won that game by 11. He joins Tom Brady and Terry Bradshaw as the only players to win Super Bowl MVP despite throwing multiple interceptions. He overcame left ankle, right kneecap, right hand injuries during the year in 5 playoff games. Pat Mahomes has thrown for over 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 2 picks. And playoffs is when it's supposed to be hard. That's when you're supposed to play the best defense. So like I said, when you look at where the Kansas City Chiefs sit currently, and you have a player that I believe to be a Michael Jordan type of impact player, nobody moves the needle in football like quarterback. The entire position revolves around, or the entire sport revolves around that position. Why do defensive end get paid? Why do they get paid so much? Because they directly affect the quarterback. So here you have a Michael Jordan type player on a manageable contract with Andy Reid, one of the geniuses of the game. You've obviously got a stellar front office when you look at how they managed to navigate all of these waters, and they still set themselves up, like I said, to even keep Chris Jones there. This is a team, and this is, yes, it's a hype train. It's way early on this, but I fully believe this. This is a Kansas City Chiefs team that is setting themselves up for a dynasty when you look at this deal and you look at the skill set of Patrick Mahomes, and then you extrapolate that to when he enters his actual prime. Like, it is really kind of unfathomable to think about how good this guy could end up being.
Stephen Miller inside the huddle. What's Mahomes going to need to accomplish in the next 5 years to begin to validate this contract, or is he already deserved a 10-year deal worth $400 million? I would say that all he has to do is keep showing up to the park and just keep doing what he's been doing. And I think that's what the Chiefs are rewarding, that what T-Bob just laid out, that he has accomplished, and before the age of 25 has been to places at the quarterback position that nobody has ever seen. Ever. And
he has a physical skill set that I'm not going to say we've never seen, because there have obviously been hyper impressive athletes, but you've never seen someone with an arm like that can throw it, that can make plays as consistently with it.
He reminds me, the first name that jumps to mind when I think of him is Randall Cunningham.
Really?
A strong arm, a really good athlete, a guy that can manage the pocket to keep himself alive, and it doesn't matter where he is on the field, he can make every throw, right?
That's the thing, though. He's kind of like, he's like an amalgamation of all these guys, right? Because like, I think of like, he's got the kind of attitude of Brett Favre, the left-handed passes, the sideways arm passes, a little bit of Rich Gannon in there as well with that sidearm delivery that he throws sometimes. He's got a little bit of Aaron Rodgers just in terms of like pure arm strength, right? Being able to throw off your back leg and have it go 40 yards on a rope and go where it was. He's got like the accuracy of a Drew Brees. It's just crazy how this guy seems. It's almost like if you were to build a prototype quarterback, you would end up with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, maybe the only thing he would be lacking would be a bit of hype, but like that hasn't mattered at all, obviously, in the NFL. So yeah, he combines all and he's young. He combines all and he's marketable, and he's a leader, and like his teammates love him. There was the consistent message coming out of Kansas City yesterday. Never doubt an ability, a professional athlete's ability to be jealous, right? These are all alpha males. Everybody wants what they think that they deserve, right? And so anytime you get a big contract, well, most people will be positive on it. You're going to find a few people who are grumbling. Every single Kansas City teammate was saying the same thing, that he deserves a contract that large, and he does. He is the complete package, and as I said, he has a chance, not just to be great on the field, but to have an MJ-like impact off the field in terms of marketability and success if he continues down the path that he's already started on.
Earlier, I think I said $500,000. He is the first $500 billion player in sports history. And as we said, Lee Steinberg was the agent on this deal. And going back to what Jimmy Ott was talking about, Jimmy used to always do his radio show from the Super Bowl, and he would always go down to the Super Bowl parties down in Radio Row, but he would always go live from Lee Steinberg's Super Bowl party.
Hey.
And that's where the Ott father was born, and really where I cut my teeth in radio and chasing down guests was at Lee Steinberg's party, and to see Steinberg be the author or the agent of this contract is pretty cool to see, because Steinberg fell on some hard times in between those parties of the late 90s and early 2000s to where he is today. He battled alcoholism. He also had to file for bankruptcy, and to see him now negotiating and have negotiated the richest contract in sports history is a good story for Leigh Steinberg.
We'll probably know TBOT. We'll dive more into like the specific numbers, but it is crazy. He's got $140 million injury guarantee. He's got peace of mind there. Just in terms of absolute guarantees, injury or not, he will get $83 million in signing bonuses over 3 years. 2021, 2022, and 2023, he'll make 21, 27, and 34 million in signing bonuses. First 3 years are fully guaranteed as well. So they give him the guaranteed money. He's happy with it. He doesn't need necessarily the super exorbitant cap hit per year basis because he's happy with how the money's spread. And I don't know the details on this. I've just seen people reference it as the sound clip we played alluded to. It's a 117-page document, but he has mechanisms in there that if he did fall out of that top three, right? Because we always talk about the tier list. Although I think that Pat Mahomes probably transcends the tier list. Like, it's going to be hard for any quarterback to sit there and say, I need more than Pat Mahomes. But if that did happen,
Lamar Jackson,
I still don't buy it. And I think Lamar's awesome, and I think Lamar will be the highest paid besides Patrick Mahomes. But he even has the ability, if he does fall off, to get back into the top three just based on some language in his contract. So it's a very long-term contract, kind of unprecedented in its complexity, I think, especially for the NFL. And it looks like it makes a lot of sense for both parties.
We will talk to LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron coming up next on Off the Bench. If you have a question for the leader of the Tiger program, hop inside of the huddle. If you're watching on YouTube Live, you can tweet into the show at @OTB_ESPN, hashtag #AskCoachO. We will ask Ed Orgeron next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Collada and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by All-Star Toyota. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge is located on the corner of Goodwood and Airline. Stop in and see them there if you need service and maintenance today on your All-Star car, vehicle. If you're not a part of the All-Star family, it's all good. You can whip into that service area and have Tommy Wagasback and his crew take care of your vehicle. Odds are you'll probably be a part of the All-Star family after seeing the service and convenience offered by All-Star Toyota. Stop in and see them. Corner of Goodwood and Airline, online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You need to rent a vehicle for the weekend if you're going to the beach, something like that. Talked to Tommy Hart about it last week. What could be better, right? You can get a little messy. It doesn't matter. You're just renting it for the weekend so your family can go and have the fun road trip that you've always dreamed of. Get your Clark Griswold on with All-Star Toyota. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com today.
Sports will be back.
But for now, we're all rooting for a different kind of hero.
Let's embody the best parts of sports.
Teamwork,
sacrifice,
resilience.
One goal. Together.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Tuesday morning here on Off the Bench, you know what that means. Best coach in college football stopping by to update us here on the offseason and the LSU football team. We will talk to five-star offensive tackle Tristan Leigh coming up here at 8 o'clock. The Tigers have been scorching hot on the recruiting trail. A couple of pass rushers last week with a game-breaking wide receiver. Tigers now sit at 15 commits as LSU, one of the hottest brands in the country right now as far as recruiting goes. We talked to Coach Ed Orgeron as he stops by every Tuesday with us here on OTB. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Great to be on the show this morning.
Lots of success on the recruiting trail here of late, Coach. What do you account that to?
We fired up, man. Obviously, our national brand, guys have worked very hard. I'm telling you, man, Christian Malcouture has done a tremendous job. He's a young coach, graduate assistant. Our recruits love him. He's done a phenomenal job in helping us recruit the defensive line. Mickey Jones and those guys are doing a great job. Corey Raymond, who's now a new recruiting coordinator, has these guys heading in the right direction. So there's a lot of good things happening right now.
It was a holiday weekend, Coach, and there was a lot of news that was coming out of the program, especially around recruiting. How'd you spend the days down as your guys were out of the office?
Prepared. We got a lot of stuff to do. We got football schools coming up. We got camp coming up. So I kind of just stayed in town. Got to work out a lot, and obviously was prepared when our coaches came by, and I got to take care of the dog. Parker and Cody went to Destin. I got to take care of the dog, Benny.
So with football camp now, just it's July 7th, right? So we're talking about 17 days away before that start date. What is on the docket for the coaching staff then this week? Like, what are the goals that y'all are trying to get done this week?
T-Bob, we got to get everything ready for football school, all the scripts, all cards. All our individuals got to be ready. Installations, which takes a lot of work. And then we're going to have an extra, I don't know, maybe an extra 12 or so practices with this new time they allowed us starting on the 24th. So July is different for us right now. So we got a lot of work to do, and then we got to do all of camp ahead of time. So when we get into camp, everything's done.
So, Coach, when you start to break down this practice film, what are some of the things that you're looking for? Like, I know a lot of coaches look for things like loafs and like what does it look like when you as a coaching staff break down the previous day's practice?
Yeah, first of all, we look for ball opportunities, turnovers, and we want great ball security and great turnovers. You know, the team that wins the turnover ratio is going to win the game, and the next one is effort. And we identify what is the loaf. And then the next one is ongoing skill development. And we've talked about fundamentals, stance, alignment, assignment every day.
Coach Ed Orgeron joining us here off the bench, ESPN, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. We talked to one of the guys behind the scenes that is instrumental in all the success that you guys are experiencing right now, Colin D'Angelo, who's a young guy in your recruiting department, was very impressive talking about the processes that you go through in that stance. There's another young coach on staff, Coach, that's getting some attention in Russ Callaway. Can you talk about the responsibilities that Callaway has now since bringing him over from Sanford, where he was calling the plays the last couple of seasons?
A tremendous – I think Ross is going to be a great coach in college football. He has already proved himself at Sanford. He had one of the best offenses in the country. He's Coach Ensminger's right-hand man. Prepares a lot of tape for him and does a lot of work for us, has a lot of energy. I think he is a great young coach.
Can you talk about how you spread the workload to these analysts? Because it seems like all of them have different responsibilities.
Yeah, you know, he works strictly with Coach Ensminger, and obviously Coach Ensminger is the offensive coordinator. So he's making cut-ups. He's breaking down film. He's making tips and reminders. He knows all the offense. He's doing the install, making all the great adjustments that Coach Ensminger has to make on putting them on paper, and just sits by Coach Ensminger's side all day. Those two work together great.
We're talking to Coach Ed Orgeron here on Off the Bench, one of our 500 through 94.7 ESPN. Coach, graduate transfers, we asked you about them a few weeks ago. You seemed excited about Liam Shanahan. The early returns were looking good. Can you update us, given that center seems to be one of the positions of concern?
You know, we're thinking that Liam may be a center. But what we hear, and obviously we can't watch him, but he's snapping well. It's what the quarterbacks are telling him. The other offensive linemen like him. They're working together. You know, he's very smart. We feel that he for sure can make the calls and be a leader for us. He's a big young man. He's 6'5", 310. He's a tough young man. He is really, really impressive. I met his family. His daddy is a big Irishman. He's put, I think, four students through Ivy League schools, and what a great family, and very impressed with the young man so far, but he's got to go through camp and get it done.
Coach, I know a lot of people who pay a lot of money to watch a Cajun man and an old Irishman chop it up. That's a manly conversation right there.
It was fun. We were out on my patio out there, and we stayed out there about a half hour. And I told his mom, I said, you know, Liam does the things that we think he ought to do. He has a chance to play in the NFL. The old man said, whoa, wait a minute. One step at a time, Coach. We got to make the team.
Coach Ed Orgeron joining us. Another one for James Craig, right? I mean, another one that he found, showed you, and here he has a chance to play.
Yeah, here it is. You know, I'm walking down the hall. I'm going to work out early in the morning. Coach Craig gets here at 3 o'clock in the morning. This is 6 o'clock. He's been here for 3 hours. Hey, Coach, I got a little film to show you. I showed him. I said, what do you think, James? I said, what do you think, Coach? I said, I like his athleticism. James, he played at Harvard. Do you think he can handle the SEC? He says, Coach, I know he can. So another great find by James Craig, who's a tremendous, I think, is one of the best offensive line coaches in college football. And he's also an outstanding recruiter.
Coach, you're here every week with us, and throughout the weeks that you're here consistently, we bring some of your staffers on, and everybody has the same sentiment about the environment that you have created. Everybody wants to be there, and there's a fan question that comes in, Ask Coach O, hashtag Ask Coach O. Other than winning, Coach, what's the secret to creating a work environment that everybody wants to be in?
You know, first of all, it's LSU. I mean, who doesn't want to be at LSU, right? I mean, this is the goal for everybody to come here at LSU and compete in the SEC. I do believe that everybody comes to work and enjoys coming to work. We talk about the LSU standard of performance is very high. Everybody's held a high esteem, a high accountability. But I think everybody can come to work and have fun and be themselves and do their job.
Coach, so we open it up to listeners if they had any questions to ask you. And Chad Nelson in the YouTube chat says, ask Coach O, without on-field work, how do you predict breakout players for this season?
You know, obviously I listen to Tommy Moffitt, and he tells me about how the workouts are going. And, you know, you got to think about Racing McMahon. Think about the year that he had as last year as a special teams player. Now it's his time. Think about Eric Gilbert. You know, he was hurt in the spring. All indications is he's the type of football player we think he is. Jabril Cox, those guys. Josh White has been performing well. Freshman linebacker we think is going to be an outstanding football player. Jacqueline Roy, Jacoby Gilliard. I talked about him last week, how big he looks. Philip Webb, I hear runs very well. So all those guys are making a name for themselves. And a guy that I'm really impressed with is Cole Taylor, tight end out of Colorado, our first player from Colorado here. He's 6'6.5", 230. He's growing into his body. I think he's an excellent player. And Devontae Bradford, our young running back. Tommy told me he runs very well. Very impressed with him. And again, Max Johnson. Max Johnson continues to improve, continues to do the thing we want him to do. He and T.J. Finley, we got two great young quarterbacks.
It seems like everybody that has their eyeballs on this freshman class is talking about the athleticism of this group. Are you getting that feedback?
Yeah, Tommy thinks it's the best, one of the best freshman classes he's seen at LSU. And as far as athletic-wise, as far as character-wise, as far as ability to work, these guys are cohesive already. They're competing. A lot of them will come and compete for starting positions.
Wow. Talking to Coach Ed Orgeron here on Off the Bench, 104.5, 100-worthy, 94.7 ESPN. Rich Harrow asks, with us having good depth across the board, what position is the focus for the upcoming and next recruiting cycles?
Well, you know, we're doing very good on the defensive line right now, but it's always going to be about the line. We got to get great linemen. I feel like we're very good on the defensive line. We got some more to come. And offensive line, we're on some of the top players in the country. Offensive line, cornerbacks. This is a great year at cornerback. Inside linebacker is a place that we need. We want to get bigger safeties and running back. So we still got a ways to go.
Another one coming in from a fan, Coach. Ask Coach O. Ask him about Cardell Thomas's health, and do we expect to see him on the offensive line this year?
You know, Cardell lost a lot of weight, and he looks very good. He's worked very hard, and he's going to compete for that right guard spot. That right guard spot right now is wide open, and let's see what he can do.
Biggest concern on defense right now, Coach?
You know, just moving from the it's not a concern, but just moving from the 3-4 to the 4-3. I think that we're going to be very good up front. We got to replace some linebackers, all new linebackers, but I think that we have some very good talent there. I feel good about our defense.
Devin White told us a couple of months ago that we asked for a breakout guy, and he named Damone Clark, and he gave stories about Clark when White was on his way out, that he was in his back pocket. Everything that White was doing, he'd look over his shoulder, and Damone Clark was just soaking up like a sponge. It feels like his time as his head coach. What do you expect from Clark this season?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's been a great leader in our leadership council meetings. He's been a vocal leader. He's stepped up. He's always there early in the morning to work out. He's 6'2.5", 237. Wow. All muscle. A great young man right here from Baton Rouge. Great family, a very intelligent young man. Sky's the limit for him.
6'2", 237.
Yeah, and not an ounce of fat on him. I mean, even last year, that dude looked jacked. Coach, I'm going to ask you to go back in your brain here and think back to sleeping on the cot at Northwestern or maybe working in the weight room in Arkansas. Sean Trent in the huddle says, I'm starting my first year of football coaching. How do you create culture?
How to create culture? First of all, your first year of football coaching, you're not worried about creating culture. Hey, go to work early, make the coffee, stay there, keep your mouth shut, shake your head, say yes, sir, and go to bed late.
You ever look down at that key? You ever look down at that key to Tiger Stadium and see that you have that on your key ring now and think back to those days of sleeping on the cot?
Man, I got to tell you all a quick story. So it's you go to high school on Monday, and all the students talk about what they did on the weekend. All right, so I go to South Lafourche, and all the students were talking about going to LSU games, and I'd never been to LSU games. So I went home and talked to my daddy. Every time I had to talk to my daddy, I had to go talk to him on the swing. So I went and talked to him. I said, "Hey, Dad, everybody goes. Not everybody. A lot of people are going to the LSU games on the weekend. Why we don't go?" He said, "Boy, we can't afford that." I said, "Okay." He said, "Well, let me tell you something. You keep on working, you won't need a ticket to the Tiger Stadium."
Wow.
Think about when the day that they gave me that key to Tiger Stadium. So I think about him all the time, and his motivation and his foresight to push me to work hard and achieve great things.
Oh yeah, man! I
get goosebumps 40 years later.
Me too. I still see you running out of that tunnel for the Missouri game with those tears coming down your face. Last one, Coach. We'll get you out of here. A special night tonight again for this 2019 team, as you guys will hand out the rings for your championship season. What about tonight?
Well, it's a special night. A lot of the players are going to come back. Derek Panansky and Greg Stringfellow, those guys have done a great job. I've seen the rings. We get 3 of them. They're wonderful. What a great night for our football team. And I'm happy for our players and our coaches to be able to get this. But obviously we're going to celebrate it, and then we'll put it to bed. It's on to next season.
Absolutely, Coach. We always appreciate your time. Stay out of the rain today. A lot of images of you jogging yesterday in the rain, man.
All right, man. Go Tigers.
We'll see you.
Yes,
there
sir.
he is, Coach O checking in. We'll close out hour 1 next.
Off the Bench with Collada and T-Bob.
We are brought to you daily by the Lanois, Lanoix agency.com. 749-5640 is the phone number. You need auto insurance, home insurance, business insurance, flood insurance with all the rain here in South Louisiana this week, and you're thinking about your flood plan and it may not be able to keep up. Get in touch with the Lanois this morning to see if they can't get you a policy that takes care of you. Online, Lanoix agency.com or 749-5640.
LanoixAgency.com, LanoixAgency.com. You like the Tigers, right? You like the best. Well, if you want the best in the insurance game, you want to go to Lanoix Agency. Look, the bottom line is they're going to save you money while getting you the coverage that you need. So you're going to have the peace of mind, and it's going to be at a price point that makes you happy. I mean, that's like ultimately all you want from your insurance agent, right? But Lanoix is going to go the extra mile. They're always going to be there for you whenever you need them. They're going to actively work to find you the best deal, even if you're not on them or anything. They're the best. LanoixAgency.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Of Louisiana, a state senator wants to ban high school sports through the fall. We'll discuss why on Tuesday's AFR. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Great stuff from the LSU head football coach this morning, Ed Orgeron. A couple of stories about his childhood there and where he's come from. And that's good stuff, man. Talking to his dad on a swing in the front yard, talking about going to LSU and can't afford the tickets to the game. And if you told him to keep working hard enough, he won't need a ticket to get into Tiger Stadium. And now he's got
sophomore
the key
in high
to the
school,
place on the ring.
So let's just deal with some rough numbers here. Say it's around 75. Nice even numbers for our math challenge brains. So that's 25 years to 2000. That's about 45 years, right? From when his father would have told him, around 40 years from when his father would have told him that. And you know what's funny? He was probably thinking at the time even, oh, he means like when I'm a player, right? And then Coach O famously did go to LSU before leaving and then ending up at Northwestern State. So at that point, it probably felt like, okay, you know, that journey, that is what it is. The key to Tiger Stadium, that's over. And then 40 years, the roundabout way, having to go to USC multiple times, taking a year off, coaching for the Saints, grinding his way through Arkansas and Northwestern State, thinking he had that USC job only to be turned down because of their elitism, right? Like they would be killing for Coach O now, but because they couldn't see the value there, he suffers maybe the most disappointing setback of his entire career, only then to find a circuitous route to end up as the LSU interim head coach and then nail down full head coach, and now undefeated, national champion, Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, the best season in school history. And then you think back to South Lafourche, just a couple of humble Cajun men sitting there on the porch swing, and his dad telling him, if you keep working hard, you'll have, you know, you'll never have to pay to go to Tiger Stadium. And right now that man has a literal key that he can open any door in Tiger Stadium with whenever he wants.
And a lot like the questions that were being asked to him this morning, he's created a culture and an environment within that LSU football department, and it doesn't matter whoever you talk to. Yesterday we talked to Colin D'Angelo. Last week we talked to Mickey Joseph. The week before that we talked to Tommy Moffitt. The week before that we talked to, you know, an assistant coach that spread the same message. Everybody wants to be at work. Everybody wants to be there. It's a place that invites the family, that invites success, that has a place that encourages creative thoughts, a place that encourages competition. It is a work environment that everybody wants to be at, and it's all because of his personality and his mentality that he makes everybody in there feel like they are the most important person on the earth, including recruits, guys like Tristan Leigh, who's going to be here in 5 minutes. And I told T-Bob, we were going back and forth, and it feels like Leigh is set to announce or set to be the next commit to the class of LSU. He was listening to the Colin D'Angelo bit from yesterday. He was listening to the Shea Dixon information that Shea was putting out yesterday, talking about recruiting, and he's going to come up here in 5 minutes and give us an update on where he stands. But Tristan Leigh, a 5-star offensive tackle from Virginia, feels like he's next. We'll see. OTB, Tristan Leigh coming up.
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for the old Irishman and the old Cajun. Chopped it up. Those two blue-collar guys. As manly of the conversation as you'll ever see.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Quality Sod simply wants to supply you with the healthiest weed and pest-free, easiest to install grass sod. Large or small quantities, we want to help you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If I built a van,
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, July the 7th. Today, expect to see afternoon thunderstorms with a high of 86 in Baton Rouge. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Five-star offensive tackle Tristan Leigh joins the show next. Remember, we have our OTB mailbag today. Get your questions in. Tweet them or ask them in the huddle using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. You can follow today's show by joining us inside the 1045 ESPN Huddle app. Brought to you by Bayou Ford on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or subscribe to our YouTube channel for new content every day. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hour 2 Off the Bench, off and at it, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio down in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. We are always online at 1045ESPN.com. We were on our YouTube channel this morning, so if you want to watch us live on YouTube, Off the Bench, all you got to do is Google OTB YouTube, and it'll pop up the link there for you. Remember, Hour 1 is already in the books. We're with you until 10 a.m. this morning. Coach Ed Orgeron of LSU was here at 7:30. Talking about the success on the recruiting trail that LSU is experiencing right now, and it seems like LSU's brand is as hot as there is in the country. Last week, 2 pass rushers, Naquan Brown, who's one of the top pass rushers in Virginia, also Keanu Coate out of Florida, and a game-breaking wide receiver from right here in Louisiana, and Chris Hilton. All 3 jumped in the boat for LSU, which brought the commitments to 15 last week. There was a lot of excitement a couple of weeks ago when Garrett Dellinger, a big offensive tackle out of Illinois, committed to LSU. James Craig said that they were just getting started with more offensive line to get into the boat, and Orgeron said this morning that it's always going to be points of emphasis to build that line of scrimmage. And one guy that seems like is the top target now for LSU, now that Dellinger is in the boat, they are focusing all their attention on Tristan Leigh, who is the 5-star offensive tackle out of Fairfax, Virginia. That is, everybody in the country wants him, right? But it seems like LSU, Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State seem to be the leaders here.
That says it all right there.
Doesn't it? Tristan Leigh is a 5-star out of Virginia and is kind enough to join us this morning here on Off the Bench. Good morning, big fella. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. How y'all doing?
We're doing good, man. Thank you for joining us. How has this recruiting process been for you?
Oh man, it's been definitely exciting. Dream come true. Everything I've ever wanted since I was little. So I'm just gotta stay humble and not get complacent and just keep working.
You have been down to LSU during this process. There's a lot of people that have not been able to take visits. Can you give me your experience of what your trips to Baton Rouge have been like?
Yeah. So my first trip was in last summer. Coach Craig told me to come down to do the elite camp with all the older guys. I went down and I feel like I made a name for myself, definitely, because I competed very well. And then I got a great tour of the campus, and it was amazing and beautiful campus. And then the second time I went to the game versus Texas A&M, and I got to see the atmosphere at Death Valley at night, and that was an experience I've never thought I would witness, but it was incredible. And yeah, it was insane. And me and the coaches have just been building a relationship up ever since those trips. So yeah, we're doing good.
Well, and Tristan, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Was your relationship with the coaches? How has this process been with James Craig, and then how's this process been with the big man, with Coach O?
My relationship, I'm very close with both Coach Craig and Coach O. They're those guys I can talk to about anything. It doesn't have to be football, and I feel comfortable doing that. I can hate Coach Craig whenever I want, Coach O. But it's really a family thing with me because Coach Craig, my mom has multiple sclerosis, and at the game, at the football game, she had trouble getting up to the our seats, and there were fans and parents, players ignoring the game just to help my mom get up to her seat, and nobody told them to do that. So I feel like that just it just shows the character of the people in at LSU, and you can definitely get that vibe from Coach O and James Craig, and because it starts up top. So.
And when you look at this LSU offensive line, Tristan, it's there's playing time to be had at tackle. Are they kind of telling you that same thing?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, that's one of my main things at LSU is I like the campus. I'm good. I'm cool with the coaches, all that, and there's space, opportunity, which I fully plan if that's where I'm going to, come in and I would compete right away day one. Like that would be my absolute goal. The opportunity is there.
Adidas All-American, 5-star offensive tackle out of Fairfax, Virginia. He's on Twitter at Leigh71 Tristan. Tristan Leigh joining us here off the bench, ESPN New Orleans, Alexandria, and Baton Rouge. When do you hope to shut the process down? When do you hope to make a decision?
So right now I'm trying to see how things pan out really, because I'd like to take my 5 official visits before I commit somewhere. But if that's not the case, I feel like I have gathered enough information over the quarantine where I'd be comfortable with the commitment. But I'd really like to take my 5 official visits.
Will you be an early enrollee?
I haven't decided yet. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the classes and the precaution to graduate early, so I have that option. But I have not decided yet.
What are the top 3 things you're looking for in a school as far as getting your commitment and signing a letter?
Number one thing with me is relationship with the coach. I want to make sure the coach has my back as a student and an athlete, and also has my family's back. If they need something, they're going to take care of it. And with me, just, you know what I'm saying, if I need someone to talk to, anything like that, like, the coach just should be like a figure, you know what I'm saying? And then second, definitely development of players. It's very important to me that the coach, when I get there, they'll be able to turn me into the player that I get projected and stuff like that. You want to make sure that you can turn into that player. So that's very important to me, and you can see it with Craig. Whole line got drafted pretty much. He knows he's a great coach. And then third is the academics, because you are a student athlete, and you got to make sure that you have both. You're excelling at both. And along with the academics, I say branding is huge with me, and LSU does a phenomenal job of branding. I talk with Derek Panansky about it all the time. So yeah, that's what's most important to me.
Is that what you want to study? Marketing and advertising?
I actually haven't decided. I've been saying business, but I have thought about entertaining that.
Yeah. I mean, LSU, when you look at the videos that they made on their guys last year and the way that they've branded those guys, they're way out in front. So does LSU check all the boxes for you?
Oh, most definitely, most definitely.
Do you have a finalist? Do you have a group that you're looking at just kind of at by themselves?
I actually don't, because I could have just 15 a couple months ago, and I've been kind of just trying to figure out as much as possible about all those schools. But I actually don't have like a top 5 or anything like that. So it'll probably be coming soon.
Talking to Tristan Leigh here, the big 5-star offensive tackle. I got to say, Tristan, it sounds like you have your head screwed on very tight. I definitely did not sound like that when I was in high school. So it sounds like it's going to be great off the field. What about on the field, though? When you look at your game and where it is currently going in this senior year of high school, like, where do you think that you're trying to improve or what you're really focusing on working on?
I'm definitely focused on just being as completely technically sound as possible, because last season I I could beat people just because I was stronger than them.
Yeah.
But I understand in college, it's not going to be like that because everybody's strong. It's going to be it's about grit and technique. So I'm trying to be as technically sound as possible. So I'm in my backyard. I'm at the field working on my technique, my tools and all that in the backyard. And then just being the best leader as possible for my teammates. Just trying to get a state ring. Really, that's my goal.
I think you see why everybody in the country wants Tristan Leigh.
Geez,
Pretty
Tristan,
impressive.
Jesus.
How
mature are you? What are you like? Are you 17 years old? It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm 17.
Do you talk to Naquan Brown?
Oh yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, he lives in Virginia Beach. So it's like 2 hours away.
It's crazy, man. Because T and I were talking in the break. LSU is paying a lot of attention to that part of the country. The high school, the competition must be great up there.
Oh, absolutely. We both play in Virginia 6A, and our Virginia 6A has multiple, and we're public, but there's about a Power 5 player on almost all the a lot of the teams. Especially in his area. I'm actually from the 757 Virginia Beach area, but I moved up to Northern Virginia. In that area, there's like crazy. It's crazy. Like they got him and Tony Grimes, Trey Henderson, all of them.
Yeah.
But my area, we have tons of guys. So yeah, Virginia and the whole DMV in this class is just it's insane.
Yeah,
man. Look, come play with Naquan.
Number 1 quarterback in the country. Caleb Williams is out of the area as well. Yeah, man. Everybody we have an interactive device where our listeners can interact, and everybody's like, "Tell this kid to commit now. Get him an LSU." We love branding and marketing as well, Tristan. So if you ever wanted to commit on the air, you can do that on this show. This was very cool this morning. We appreciate your time, man. Good luck with your decision.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate y'all making the time, having me on the show. Thank you.
Yep, we're going to do it again.
Man.
We will do it again.
Definitely.
There he is, Tristan Leigh, checking in from Virginia this morning. 5-star offensive tackle. Seems like LSU sitting in a good spot. James Craig and Ed Orgeron have done great work in making LSU relevant there. Yeah, definitely. It sounds like he's very high on the LSU Tigers. I know the Clemson Tigers also very high on his list. Every time we talk to these high school kids, man, I'm just continually impressed by this new generation and kind of the more long-term vision that they seem to be taking with everything. But yeah, Tristan Leigh sounds like a cat who just checks all the boxes, dude. Maturity, physically, he looks like a monster. I mean, sure, there's absolutely things he needs to improve on, but he has, anytime you're 6'5", 270 as a kind of base to work with, you're in good. You're good. You're okay. Like, we can work with that. And what a jewel for this LSU class that would be. As we said yesterday, and many people pointed out with the commitments over the weekend, you're now a top 5 class in the country, and you're the only top 5 class that doesn't have a 5-star committed. So you already have so much quality spread throughout that class that you've managed to rank that high. And then if you get a Tristan Leigh and you get a Mason Smith, then all of a sudden, you're talking about potentially being the number 1 class in the entire country. Mailbag questions next during OTB.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Daily brought to you here by Donaldsonville Glass and Body, online dgbauto.com. Remember, for the month of July, $250 deductible on collision. All you got to do is mention Off the Bench. Just mention OTB. Over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body, they pick up the vehicle, offer 24-hour towing. Nick Frederick runs a brand-new tow truck over there that they can pick up, fix the vehicle, return it. You mention Off the Bench, you get $250 off of that deductible. All you got to do is mention it at Donaldsonville Glass and Body, online dgbauto.com.
dgbauto.com, donaldsonvilleglassandbody.com. Y'all saw the Kingmaker trying to tease it out of him. Hey, just plant the seed. You ever want to come commit on air? Come to OTV. Well, I'm going to plant the seed here for DGB. You need any car issues fixed? If you need an inspection sticker, oil change, check engine light on, why don't you go to Donaldsonville Glass and Body? Check them out online, donaldsonvilleglassandbody.com. Find them on Facebook under that same name. dgbauto.com works as well. They're the best. Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
Dear Sports is our love letter to sports. Share your Dear Sports letter with us. Call 860-506-6161 and read it to us. Or share a video or text using the hashtag Dear Sports on Twitter or Instagram.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
My part.
If I built a van, It would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I build a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, mailbag questions every Tuesday here on Off the Bench. If you're watching on YouTube, hashtag OTB mailbag. Appreciate the numbers on YouTube.
Yeah, man, let's keep it climbing.
That's good stuff, man. Make sure that you are subscribed and that you're getting notifications on all of the content that's being uploaded there. Tristan Leigh was great, 5-star offensive tackle out of Virginia. He stopped by last segment. Seems like LSU sitting in a great spot with Leigh, as James Craig has done just tremendous work. I mean, you heard Orgeron speaking in the first hour of Liam Shanahan, who is looking like at this point he's going to be the center for LSU, which would be a gift.
The anecdotal,
just a gift.
Well, I mean, I say anecdotal. Coach Ed told us on this show how high it seems like Tommy Moffitt in the program is on him. So, hey, if me and Brody touch on this in the Hold That podcast, which returns today, so be on the lookout for that. I'll tweet it out all later. But if he makes himself into a starter, then there can be no doubt that there is not a better staff in America.
Can't we put that to rest
when
now?
Well,
I mean, wouldn't Liam Shanahan be a cherry on top of Cole Tracy and Joe Burrow?
Yeah. I mean, look, yes, you probably already could, and then Jabril Cox, is going to start, and getting him.
Hell, I'd throw Terrence Alexander in there.
Yeah. And while he wasn't a starter, he was effective. right?
He played a role.
Yeah, he played a role, and he did end up starting that bowl game, even though he ended up getting kicked out of it. So yes, they have been absolutely fantastic. I guess, though, if Liam Shanahan then works out and he solves what is the biggest question mark on the entire team at a position that I consider of top 5 importance, then you're not just the best in the country, you're lapping the country at that point. Like, at that point, you are just year in and year out kind of cherry picking and choosing and saying, okay, well, you know what, we need a starter here. Let's go grab one. It's just wild if he ends up being as good as some of the hype around him seems to be right now.
OTB mailbag every Tuesday. Here's the latest edition.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
All right, going to start with some of these questions I got in the document. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Crawfish etouffee or gumbo?
Gumbo.
Seafood, chicken and sausage, I'm assuming here. Yeah. For me, it's chicken and sausage as well. Yes, chicken and sausage gumbo, though a delicious etouffee is also...
I was about to say, it's not that easy. It's not just a gumbo call, off the top. It seems like it's very easy for you.
It is.
Yeah, I'm probably with you, Jordy. I'm like 60-40.
But a really good etouffee?
I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong, and I love crawfish etouffee.
But it's that easy. It's just a gumbo call. Danny, you got it either way?
Gumbo.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, gumbo reigns supreme. All right. A hashtag OTB mailbag. I like this one. What position group are you A, most comfortable with, and B, most concerned with?
Most comfortable with wide receiver.
Yeah, makes sense.
Most uncomfortable with offensive line, even though the confidence is growing by the week.
I would say I am most comfortable. Wide receiver is a great one. And then I'll just flip it and say defensive back because, of course, just NFL talent throughout that room. Most concerned, offensive line is definitely up there, right? Because what we just said, center and left tackle. And then right behind it, actually, it's just got to be quarterback. And it's not even, that's not like a slight against any player or anything. It's just
proven.
Yeah, it's just the nature of where they stand and then what happened last year.
Most comfortable defensive line.
Okay. Yep.
Most uncomfortable running back, kind of for the same reason, just kind of unproven. You saw Curry in the Peach Bowl. He was really good. Emory and Ty Davis Price played sparingly last year.
And then how about why am I blanking? Bradford, right?
Is that Bradford?
Yeah.
He did say his name.
He said his name. He mentioned his name during their Tommy Moffitt. Obviously, Bradford's done something to impress
Seems
Tommy
like by
Moffitt
the way he
thus
runs.
far.
Dan, you got anything over there?
Most uncomfortable quarterback. Most comfortable probably wide receiver.
OTB mailbag. How relieved is Musso to be back in the promised land?
Ooh, that laugh sound. Jesus, man. We need to get you some acting lessons here, bro.
I just enjoy the work.
Yeah. Look, don't worry. Look, I know
4:30 alarm sucks. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's true. I know you had a good thing go, but don't worry, baby. We're happy to have you back.
Good to be back.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Destin, this comes from Brian Burgess. Destin, Pensacola, or Orange Beach?
Yeah, I think we did this one last week.
Okay, did we do it last week? We did do it last week.
week.
Oh, my bad. Hashtag OTB mailbag. At what age is it okay for your kid to start spending the night out?
See, I'm curious here because it's not so much spending the night out as much as leaving your kid at home for an extended amount of time alone.
That first time the kid staying home alone.
But I'm not there yet. But I do wonder what is the right age on that.
I think I started staying home alone when I was 9.
Really?
9 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jay is 9. I still feel a little uncomfortable leaving. Like, I'll go pick up some donuts down the street and get back while he's sleeping. But
so is he spending? Sorry, I was looking for questions. Is he spending the night out now?
Oh, he spends the night out.
Okay.
He spends the night out. But I'd like to even extend that question. At what point do you trust your kid to spend the night at home alone? Like, I remember my dad left town when I was 16. He came home to a broken coffee table and dining room chair. And my stepmom said, just never again. It'll never happen again.
There's probably like it's weird. It's probably like a bit of do you call it a bell curve where you're too young, maybe at like 8 to 10, 12 to 13, you're probably okay. but then you get old and it goes back down again because then you're trying to party and get drunk and have
12
kids
and
over.
13, I feel comfortable leaving him home alone for like an afternoon.
Yes.
You know, I got to go back to work.
Yes.
I'll be home at 5. Manage, bro. Feed yourself. Shoot basketball outside. Don't leave the driveway. That first time I leave overnight, whether it's 16, 17, or hell, maybe even 18, I'm going to be a nervous wreck, not for him, but what he's doing to my stuff.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't
You know
trust
what I mean?
What's the house gonna look like?
You can't
What's he
trust that.
doing? Because I know what I was doing at 16, 17, and 18 when I had the keys to the castle.
Your friend group always has a house where the parents are either always on business trips or they're just kind of lax or a little cool.
Or if your friend is that youngest one where they have a group of older kids and they've just given up parenting on and they've started to just travel, like they've made their mistakes on the front end. They're just going to let you figure it out by the older kids.
What do you want
And they
us
just
to
throw
do?
them the keys to the house for the weekend. And next thing you know, you've got some like $500,000 pad in Country Club, Louisiana for yourself for 48 hours at 16.
Dangerous.
Those are the types of friends that I loved hanging out with coming up, man.
That sounds very fun. Hashtag OTB mailbag. This is going to be for you, Musso. Better college baseball player, John Byington?
Wow.
Or Alex Bregman? Do you know who this is? This John
The other
Byington?
guy is, so we're just going to go with Bregman. And to be honest, I was going to go with Bregman anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I guess that's...
Homer.
Leah
Absolutely
Phoenix is making this conversation pretty real. Leah writes in, for the children at home, there is guidance in law books. You can be charged if you do it wrong.
Wait, what?
For the children at home?
Yeah.
Leah Phoenix right in. It sounds like she's a lawyer. She said there is guidance in law books. You can be charged if you do it wrong. So obviously, like if you leave
so
a
there's
kid
like
at home,
literal legal rules
Law.
around this.
Sure.
Okay, well, we're amateur lawyers on this show, Leah, so if you want to give us those information, we'll accept it. Brian Landry asks, what's your pick for the best game of the 2019 championship run?
Whoa. Whoa, bro.
I'm sorry.
Repeat the question.
What's your pick for the best game of the 2019 championship run?
Alabama.
Like that, yeah. I mean, I feel like
it's
like that's the expected answer, but it's also just it's the answer.
It is the answer. I mean,
it was you had to get it.
There were very high moments, but I mean that.
Okay, so let's say Sans Bama, if we're in agreement.
Okay.
Take Bama out of it.
Okay.
Florida was.
I love
That's
Florida.
where I'm going.
I was going with Florida
man.
too.
Exactly where my
Me
head
too.
went. The Florida game was spectacular.
The whole just the atmosphere. The game was really good.
Yes. The ability of LSU's offense that night to keep punching back. Like Florida would put together these grindy 75-yard touchdown drives. I think it was like 4 out of 5 drives they managed to go 75.
Trask played out of his mind
Yeah, he
that
did.
night.
He did.
played out of his
He
mind.
did.
Oh,
That was the best game he played all
Yeah.
year.
Oh.
What's the best game they played all season? Was it Oklahoma?
I mean,
49 points in the first half, man.
yeah, it's crazy. it's definitely wild. To
I
think
wish I
about that
had good
Oklahoma
feels
game.
around that game. Every time I think of that game, I think Carly. But
Yeah.
that may
Yeah.
have been their best game.
That's fair.
Start to finish. They beat the brakes off of Georgia. They beat the hell out of that Georgia
They
team.
really did.
I mean,
that was just, but we said it going into it. It was a bad matchup for Georgia. Like, that was a Georgia team that was not constructed the same way that Auburn was pretty well constructed to giving LSU trouble. That Georgia team just absolutely was not, and you saw that play out.
I mean,
they tried to do the Georgia
beginning there, and
in the Georgia game.
yeah,
if they catch a couple of passes,
if they catch a
yeah,
couple
they
passes,
dropped
it
it.
could,
that don't matter, dude.
It could change a few things.
See, I mean, yeah, it could have changed. Like, maybe Georgia has a little more offensive success early, but like defensively,
they
you knew
weren't.
they were done when they came out with the 3-down lineman look that Auburn tried, and they just didn't have the horses.
The
to
first
run that.
touchdown
No
from
one
Burrow
did.
to Chase, where Burrow's back there for I think 11 seconds.
I mean, it's
I think
forever,
it was
dude.
11. I'm like, and I'm not being exaggerative. I think it was a legit 11 seconds. You give the number one pick 11 seconds to stand back, he could have beat you 100-0.
Was the game he walked off the field after
that's right, through the Terrace Marshall,
and just
the walk-off.
Ooh,
So
I
good.
have goosebumps again.
I mean, was Texas A&M? Texas A&M may have been
The
if you're
revenge.
a
That was just
gambler,
fun.
if you're a bettor, that's as big of a lock as LSU's ever presented from a gambling sense. That spread could have been 40.
Well, it was before the game when Burrow had the clip of him drinking the water bottle, right?
Yes.
With that smirk on his face.
Well, that was the
told
week
you-
before.
Yes.
When Jacques asked him the question,
Yeah.
"Are y'all looking forward to next week?" and he gave like the
that tells you
we're gonna
that,
kick their ass.
That right there, if you're a gambling man, after you saw that clip, you should have gone and bet the farm on LSU, and you would have been rewarded.
What about Texas? We didn't even mention
I know.
it.
We didn't mention
third
Texas.
and 17,
I know.
possibly
I know.
Top 5 most iconic moments of the whole season.
That's
a favorite play of
in
the
that
season,
environment and atmosphere. September, college football, game days there.
God, it was hot.
I mean,
Oh, I hope. It ain't
gonna happen.
I know we're never gonna get in that environment, but I hope we even still can play Texas. We're gonna discuss. I'm gonna get to that more in the third hour of today's show. It does seem like college football's maybe potentially being threatened a little bit. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Hitman keeps asking this, so I'll ask it. Do you think Jontre Kirkland will play?
Yes. Yeah, I think he's too talented of a player not to be on the field.
Where
I
does
don't
he
know.
play?
He's not going to play wide receiver. He could be fourth or fifth option there at this point today.
I mean, he'll definitely play special
I would say
teams.
he's definitely going to play special teams. He will be on the field. I just, who said it the other day about Mickey Joseph said it the other day about Racey McMath. I mean, he plays in the SEC West at LSU.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with Jontre Kirkland. I mean, he's a hell of a player. He's behind a bunch of pros.
Musa, William Ivy asks, bigger cheater, Alex Bregman or Sammy Sosa?
Sammy Sosa, of course.
There you go.
Easy answer there.
Homer, come on.
And Bregman was bullied into cheating.
That's true.
Who led the charge on the Astros? Did that ever come out? Who was the?
It was from the front office.
No, it was Beltran, wasn't it?
No, it was from the front office. That's one reason the house got cleaned out over there.
Sons of guns. I think that's it.
All right, those are your mailbag questions here on OTB. We'll roll on here by All-Star Toyota next.
Off the bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Central Plumbing Company, 925-8552, online centralplumbing.org. Remember, get in touch with Central Plumbing today if you need a full home generator sold and installed to you. You can get in touch with Jay Payne, Zach Payne, Brandon LeBlanc over there in Greenville Springs Road. Central Plumbing Company, been around since the mid-'70s. Customer service, great trusted name, residential or commercial plumbing services. They got you taken care of. Online, centralplumbing.org.
Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org. Go there for any plumbing issues that you have. If they handed out Heismans for plumbing, the Paynes would have been a multi-generational Heisman winner. As it stands, they're multi-generational expert plumbers. So if you have a shower that won't drain, a toilet that needs to be fixed, you want people who are licensed, bonded, and insured that you can trust. You want warranty coverage to give you peace of mind afterwards. You want a flat rate pricing structure with no surprises. You want Central Plumbing. Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I build a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, remember the podcast is online, brought to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. You can stop in and see Carriages today on Old Hammond Highway and Jefferson, where they've been since 1982, outfitting the capital city. Great social media posts as well on Facebook and Instagram. Check out Carriages there online, carriagesbr.com. Ed Orgeron was with us in Hour 1. If you missed it, it's there online and is always brought to you by Carriages. Hour 2, we talked to Tristan Leigh. In Hour 3 today, T-Bob will talk to Big Cat from Barstool Sports as Coach Doug's.
Yeah. So I take it. Well, I don't know. Do you know much about this journey?
I mean, you caught me up a little bit.
Yeah. I guess he just started playing NCAA 14 and created this character of Coach Doug's. He has gone school to school. It's shocking to me how well NCAA 14 holds up as kind of a package and how well it plays and just simulates the feelings of college football, from like recruiting to the coaching carousel, even when you're playing like the fake bottom line at the games, the fake headlines, whatever. It really is just a gem of a game. But he started playing it during the pandemic, trying to create some content, and it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And every school that has had him has embraced him, and he is now Coach Doug's, the head coach of LSU, which you couldn't really like choose. You had to be offered that job. And so he got offered the job. A couple big wins early on against top 5 opponents. Had a battle last night going to Madison, Wisconsin. Down 17-3 early. Managed to come back at the 31-24 win.
What do you call him, Burrow?
It's interesting, man. And I just want to pick his brain about just how it's all exploded. But then also, I mean, really think about this. In one of those national championships that he played in on that video game, I was watching. It was like the first game that I watched. He had 150,000 people watching it. Can you imagine the pressure you would be feeling with 150,000 people watching you play a video game and just trolling you and making fun of you the entire time? I mean, think about that. That is 50% more essentially than Tiger Stadium, right? And even though they're not live there in the room, you can still feel, you still know that they're all tuned in and just waiting to see if you fail. So it's crazy, man. And I'm looking forward to talking about it at 9:30.
We will talk to Derek Panamsky tomorrow morning at 7:30, as he will be in studio with the collection of rings tonight that is handed out to the LSU football team. So we'll have him in studio tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
The rings that LSU receives tonight for their 2019 ring ceremony. So that's an SEC championship ring. That is a college football playoff championship ring. So the win over Oklahoma, you get a ring for.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. So do they get 4? Oh, no, so they still get 3. They get 4. Yeah, because I think the NCAA gives you a natty ring. The school gives you a natty ring.
That's right.
You get the SEC ring from the school. And now, I did not know this, you also get the Final Four win.
Because that's an NCAA
win. Yeah, that
win.
makes sense. I get that. I get that, a playoff win ring. It would probably well, whatever. I've lost Natty, so I know how it feels. It might sting a little bit if you're on the losing end of the eventual national championship, but still, 4 rings. What a year.
You got to always be grateful for your humble leader for putting ranked number 2 nationally.
I'm still a little salty about it. I don't know if it's the best decision to use a ring that your seniors earned as a motivational tactic for the following year. It was an SC champion. You could have just left it as is, but whatever. I don't wear my rings or anything. They just sit in a box in a closet. And also, the dirty truth about the rings is while they look super badass, they're all fake, and the rocks fall out like super easily.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Like it's not very like. I'm sure. Like I think the value probably comes from the fact that it's a championship ring, and so it's rare. But those aren't real diamonds. Like the L in this ring that you're looking on online right here, which is the 07 Natty ring with the 2 crystal balls. The L fell out of mine, and I never even wear it.
That's terrible.
So I don't know. Maybe quality's improved in the interim. Wow. But hey, it still feels
like
good.
Finding out about Santa Claus.
Dude, it still feels good though. It still feels good when it's on your finger. I think too at the time I was fatter, but I was also maybe a little embarrassed by my tiny hands, and so I think I went too big with my ring size, which also makes it hard to wear just because it
kind of like
slips
the peer
off.
pressure order.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching.
The guys
everybody's
in front
looking.
of you talking about like whatever,
give me an XL,
8 inches or whatever. Like his ring size was like, yeah, me too. Yeah, definitely.
What'd you order, man?
Definitely.
All right,
fit on your thumb?
So ring ceremony.
Yeah, it's a thumb ring, bro.
Ring ceremony tonight for the LSU national championship team.
It's kind of a bummer that it's not going to be that the general public can't be there, because that was I remember that was actually a pretty cool day back in 07. It was in the stadium. It was freezing, but it was in the stadium. Crowd was there. It was pretty nice, but it'll be special. It's also going to be kind of an interesting experience for the young guys on this team, the guys that don't get the ring, but know that that's what they're working towards, and that's what they can get and what they can have if they manage to uphold the legacy and learn the lessons that the upperclassmen are going to impart on them.
Jason, inside of our YouTube Watch Live app, NCAA set a limit on the amount a ring could cost for championship teams. Do you think that LSU is going to be the reigning national champs for 2 college football seasons? Are they going to play?
I don't know. I want to explore this more in depth in the final hour of today's show, but there's just a lot of smoke that college football could be imperiled. And kind of the worst part of all of this is that July 13th is a date that a lot of people are looking at, and really these next 2 or 3 weeks as to like, okay, this is going to be the hardcore decision time when some tough choices need to be made. And it's a bit unfortunate that is taking place directly when this spike is. The two things directly coincide. And so that's going to threaten. Like, I know that Bruce Feldman, we'll talk to him in the 3rd hour tomorrow. He has an article on The Athletic right now where the Ivy League is expected to announce on Wednesday what their plans are. And there is a lot of talk that they're going to push back to spring 2021.
See, I just don't know how that could work in the Power Fives, and specifically like a conference in the SEC. Because
I don't think it would.
If you're going to tell Jamar Chase, let's just take Jamar Chase as the example, that they're going to suspend football season in the fall and move it to the spring, the same spring that they're going to hold evaluations for the NFL draft, and he's now eligible for that draft, he ain't playing at LSU. Why?
No, nobody would.
Why?
Also, though, but I mean, also you do run into it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't situation where player safety is a problem in both issues, right? Player safety is already a problem in the fall, obviously, because of COVID. In the spring, that could still be around. But then there's also an issue of, can you play 2 full football seasons in 1 calendar year? I mean, that is terrible for your body. That is absolutely brutal. That creates a lot of injury risk. And so I'm with you. And then basically, I just don't see the Power 5 following the Ivy League because of the television contracts.
Yes. SEC is playing football this year. Come hell or high water, they will play. They'll play a 14-game schedule, or they'll play a 10-game schedule. Where they just play everybody.
I think if you were going to do an SEC schedule, I think you do like 9 or 10 games, maybe 2 bye weeks, and just do it against SEC teams. I mean, we would still love it.
I think behind closed doors, the SEC would tell you They don't care if anybody's in the stadium as long as the 8 cameramen and women are present. They don't mind. As long as that game's on television, that's all they care about.
Yeah.
Whether there's butts in the stands.
And honestly, that's all I care about. That's all I care about at this point. I am no longer. I'm not being greedy. I will take it just in any facet I can get it, because I guess I always just assumed, and I still kind of do, that there's too much momentum for football not to happen. But it just feels a little more tenuous every day, and so I have started to allow myself to wonder, like, what if it didn't happen? And it'd be really bad for a lot of people and
it'd be disastrous.
communities.
It would be disastrous from a financial aspect. Take away your passions and your entertainment value and the ability to just kind of check out and go watch sports. All that stuff is a luxury. But when you talk about the real life stuff that it would impact if college football did not exist, especially in towns like Baton Rouge and around the Southeastern Conference, what that would mean for business owners, the community, and the leaders, I really don't even know if you can calculate that. I don't know if you can really put a number on.
The Advocate did an article and they kind of touch on that, and it's millions. It's millions of dollars.
It's without question. I mean, you could the financial impact. You could put a dollar amount on because you could be able to see the hard cost in which it impacted, but the long-term effect on communities and towns of taking away a football season, I just don't even know if you could realize how bad it could be.
Henry Pugh Jr. asking, will the ring ceremony be streamed? I don't know either way. I don't imagine that it would, though. I mean, I'm sure. Look, you know the LSU media department has a ring video locked and loaded and ready to go. Like, there's a ring hype video that will be released. But if I were the coaches, I would treat this as kind of an intimate team reward type of scenario where you celebrate it with the guys that you fought and bled with to earn those rings.
We will close it out next. Close that hour 2 next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by All-Star Toyota. Remember, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge is online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. They're located on Goodwood and Airline. They've got all types of makes and models for you to shop today. If you're looking for new car inventory, they've got great selections over there. Pre-owned and certified, 90 makes and models for you to choose from on the corner of Goodwood and Airline. You want a 2020 Toyota Tundra, you can shop that online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. You can rent a vehicle over there as well. Remember, if you're getting out of town this weekend during the summer months, we've been reminding you it's a great place to rent a car over at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Go stop in and see Miss Lisa Sessions telling you heard it here on Off the Bench.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. You want a Toyota certified used vehicle, you're going to get warranty coverage, things that you don't normally get with a used vehicle. Well, you are going to get it at All-Star Toyota. Or you buy a new vehicle. You need a minivan. You got kids like me. Well, CN's the best. So what are you waiting for? Go to All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com today.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Struggling with...
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Sweet summertime. All right, hour 3 coming up for you. T-Bob Hebert will be in 9 to 10 o'clock. Big Cat from Barstool Sports will stop by. Coach Doug's 9:30 this morning. Bruce Feldman will be there in the third hour tomorrow on OTB. Yes. Talking more college football. If you missed today, Coach Orgeron was great in hour 1 in his regular Tuesday spot, talking about Liam Shanahan. Seems like the Tigers may have found themselves a center here in the offseason. Now, you got to get on the field and prove it when the pads come on, but it seems like all accounts by football school and weightlifting and off-season activities that Liam Shanahan may have found his spot on the offensive line for the Tigers. Coach O was talking about that in hour number 1. Another target on the recruiting trail, a 5-star target at the offensive tackle spot. Tristan Leigh was with us at the top of the second hour. Seems like Leigh is close, and LSU is in the mix there. So if you missed any of that, remember all of the sound is online, brought to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Stop in and see Will and the gang today.
There's a fun question on Get Up. They're talking to Randy Moss right now. And they're asking him how many touchdowns do you think you could have caught in your prime if you were teamed up with Pat Mahomes?
Wow.
Yeah.
What did he catch that season in Tampa Bay? In New England, was it 23?
Can one of y'all look it up?
I think Moss, the year that Brady threw 50.
It was definitely low 20s.
I think
it was 07 was the year.
Yep, and Brady threw 50, and Moss, I believe, caught 23. And the only reason why I say that because I remember it was Michael Jordan's number.
I knew exactly where that was going. Well, guess what? Maybe this next generation may be thinking about 15 the same way that you're thinking about 23.
Possibly.
I mean,
he's that type of athlete.
I know that I am giving myself over fully to the hype train, but I'm completely okay with it. In fact, he even got there to the top faster than Jordan did. And I know that in football, I think it's especially rare to try to have
There's more people in the field.
A single athlete dominate to the extent there are. But that actually works against Mahomes in this situation.
Is it 23?
23.
Wow, there you go.
That's not including playoffs.
Damn. Yeah, who knows how many he could have caught with Mahomes, but yeah, I think Pat. I mean, who knows where this thing goes? We'll talk about it more coming up.
The thing about Mahomes, and he's got a type of player. He doesn't have Randy Moss. I'm not saying he's got Randy Moss, but he's got a player with the type of speed of Randy Moss.
Well, who said
and Tyreek Hill, and then Hardeman can fly as well.
He's got Kelsey too.
I think Kelsey is a pass guy, but the speed aspect where the entire field is in play. So Randy Moss in 07, if you want to beat him, he can't outthrow you, right? Like he's not gonna he can overthrow. Mahomes can overthrow Randy Moss. I mean, I don't think that anybody could overthrow Moss in his prime. You know, I mean, it's like Hardeman and Tyreek Hill. I mean, Tom Brady couldn't overthrow those cats.
No, hell no, not now.
I mean,
even though Tom still got an arm, he's managed to keep that arm strength up somehow. But yeah, my favorite Randy Moss though is still rookie Randy Moss.
Oh, the best.
I mean, when Chris Carter were going off that Thanksgiving game against Dallas,
where he caught the wide receiver screen.
Yeah, it was
made
like
one guy miss.
I think he had 3 catches for like 150 and 3 touchdowns or something just stupid, dude. Just like this guy's next level.
Remember Jerry Jones said he didn't want to draft him because he thought he was going to be a problem? All right, hour 3 coming at you. T-Bob Hebert driving you home with All-Star Toyota. Check out all of the podcasts. Orgeron, Tristan Leigh, 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. I'll talk to you tomorrow 7 a.m. Stick around, T-Bob, for another hour.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Brought to you by Secure Shredding and Recycling. Stop in and see our friends over there, Gaines Garrett, J. Babb, and the crew. Secure Shredding and Recycling. Remember, 225 area code 751-8535. If you want to call that number, they can help you with their drop-off shredding. You can drop off and pick up services available for shredding at the Baton Rouge facility, the mobile shredding that they offer at Secure Shredding and Recycling. They've got 10 trucks on the road. They're mobile shred trucks. Can visit your office. You can shred. They can shred your stuff while you watch online.
Hey,
Secure Shredding and Recycling.com. You a voyeur?
If you're into that sort of thing, Secure Shredding. That's cool, man. You can watch them. Cut it up right in front of you. Hard drive, anything. Mention Off the Bench. It's a services business. They're there to serve you. They also serve the environment. They save thousands upon thousands of trees with their recycling each and every year. So why not keep it local for all your document destruction needs? SecureShreddingRecycling.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. You've probably heard me talk about my love of whiskey, which is why I am thrilled to announce that Sazerac Rye is the
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on
Callahan
us.
Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, July 7th. Today, expect to see afternoon thunderstorms, the high of 86 in Baton Rouge. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Brought to you by Carriages. Coming up on OTBOT, Barstool Big Cat will join us at 9:30 to talk Coach Doug's. You can follow today's show by joining us inside the 1045 ESPN Huddle app. Brought to you by Bayou Ford on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Or by subscribing to our YouTube channel for new content every day. OTBOT starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into OTBOT. It's your boy T-Bob Hebert, Matt Musso, Danny Cardenas hanging out with you today on this Tuesday morning. Shout out to the Hold the Mayo crew. Got my To Me Tuesday shirt on. Hell of a show here talking to Coach O. I might replay a little bit of that sound next segment in case you missed it. Also, we are working on getting that YouTube video up. So again, I know it gets annoying, but it helps us out. Subscribe to the Off the Bench YouTube channel. You can just Google Off the Bench YouTube. It's the first thing that pops up. Subscribe, like it, share it with your friends, and it helps us grow, and it's awesome that we can keep, then Jordy, the Kingmaker, can keep getting you great guests like Coach O and Tristan Leigh and everybody else. Coming up on this hour of the show, as Musso told you at the onset, we're going to have Big Cat stop by at 9:30, pick his brain about being the other head coach of the LSU football team. I believe he's now 3-0 after last night's games. I had some fun watching those. It is kind of weird. I haven't watched the Doug stuff specifically really until he went to LSU. Like, I watched some of the big games, the championships. I had a feeling last night where, like, I kind of felt like I was watching football. Like, I'm someone who loves Twitch. I love watching video games. I watch streamers all the time. I've probably during the pandemic been in more of a YouTube hole because I've been watching WoW Classic stuff constantly. Also, shout out to myself. I did get benediction last night for anybody who knows what that means. But yeah, I was watching the LSU game last night and, like, I was getting into it, dude. They got down on the road against Wisconsin early in Madison. It was looking a little sketchy for Doug's. They come up with some big plays. They end up getting the win. And so we'll pick Big Cat's brain about what this whole crazy journey's been like for him. I wanted to dive into some of the more specific aspects of the Pat Mahomes contract as well. I told you how good I believe Pat Mahomes is, but I want to look at I do want to look at the numbers and the kind of structure of the contract and why it is so different, why it's so complex, and why it's going to bear so much fruit for that Kansas City team. Also, it is a ton of money. Did y'all see Josh McCown's tweet? This was pretty excellent. Dan, if you want to bring it up. I know we're having trouble with the document today, so I've got my own document over here. But SportsCenter tweeted, breaking, Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs have signed an agreement on a 10-year deal that ties him to Kansas City to the 2031 season. Josh McCown quote tweeted, said, wait, so is this better than a one-year deal with 10 teams? Given that that's the Josh McCown special. Shout out to you, Josh McCown. I enjoyed you when you were here in New Orleans. Okay, but before we get to Mahomes, we'll probably touch on Mahomes and revisit some of the audio next segment. I do want to talk about college football and whether or not it's going to happen. And I'm not saying that I have a for sure answer today, because I absolutely do not. And these situations are so fluid that it seems like they're changing on a day-to-day basis. But there's been a few articles that are maybe a bit more concerned than it was previously. It probably started with Dennis Dodd a couple of weeks ago, where he wrote about kind of the unspoken idea of herd immunity among college football coaches and teams, and how that, I don't know that that's actually a realistic option. And then Mandel in The Athletic had an article, and then Nicole Auerbach and Bruce Feldman had one. And the thing that they are pointing to is exactly what we talked about at the end of last hour, which is the Ivy League is expected on Wednesday, to decide what they're going to do. And multiple football coaches have told The Athletic that they expect all fall sports, including football, to be moved to the spring. Now, look, I get it. I don't know that this is going to affect the Power 5. It'll definitely affect some of the other FCS leagues, potentially even trickle down into some of those Group of 5 conferences. One thing that probably bears pointing out, though, if you're thinking that the Power 5 is completely inoculated from these sort of ripple effects, I would point out that, remember, the Ivy League was the first to shut things down when they shut down their basketball tournament, and they kind of got clowned for like 2 or 3 days. Everybody's like, overreaction, this or that. And I'm sure a lot of you personally feel that way, but that's fine, whatever. A lot of people said that, and then 2 days later, the NCAA is like, oh, wait, no, we have to actually shut the entire March Madness tournament down. A thing which at the time felt wild, felt kind of beyond comprehension, quite honestly. And so if they were a harbinger of things to come in that case, I don't know if it's going to be this case, but it definitely bears mentioning. A key note in all of this, though, is that unlike March Madness, the NCAA does not control the football season. And what that means is that all of the Power 5 leagues can make their own individual decisions, right? And look, we all love the SEC. We all know the SEC. What does it mean in the SEC, y'all? It just means more, right? And, well, that's because there's just more money on the line. And I think as TV contracts, like, yeah, I think the idea that it could just be an SEC-only season is becoming more realistic. But that is one of 4 options that are kind of currently making their way through osmosis through the football world. Reportedly right now, the Pac-12 has modeled 4 different scenarios for what they could potentially do. And get ready, y'all, because I want to pick Musso and Dan. I want to pick y'all's brain to see which one of these, and the listeners, which one of these you would most want as someone consuming football. The first option, playing the regular season as scheduled. Well, obviously we want that. We don't know if that's going to be allowed to happen or not. The second option, delaying the start of the season. The third option, conference-only games. The fourth option, moving spring to 2021. What do you prefer?
This is the Pac-12, you said?
The Pac-12, yes. These are ideas that behind closed doors they have put out there. These are the 4 plans.
Obviously, start on time would be the first option you would like to have happen.
Would delaying be the second option, or do you like the conference-only games?
Conference-only games.
Okay.
Conference-only games for me, the second option, then delaying. Spring should, and I believe is, the last resort.
Yeah, I agree. There's 2 ideas on spring. Now, my initial thing on spring was like, well, there's no guarantee that things are going to be any better in spring from a pandemic standpoint. I then came to the realization, well, that's probably not really the point, right? It's not a decision of will it be better in spring. It's a decision of is it safe enough in fall. So I was like, okay, well, I'll put that out the window. Though I do think that probably does bear on some people's decision making. But as we talk about it, it's just, to me, the biggest thing about pushing back to spring that you could not do. Yeah, you're going to lose guys to the NFL and all that, and that's bad for the product. And then you're not honoring TV contracts, and who knows what the fallout from that is. But it goes back, ironically, to player safety. Although you're risking player safety by playing in the fall, are you exacerbating it by playing in the spring by forcing players to put their bodies through two full football seasons in 1 calendar year? It's kind of funny. I was just at the lake last week, right? I was at the camp. I was talking to my old man, and he pointed something out that I didn't quite realize. So he was in the USFL, right? And when that was a spring football league. And when it folded, a lot of the players that were able to rolled straight into NFL seasons. What that means is he played 44 games in one calendar year when you add up the USFL schedule, playoffs, preseason, NFL preseason, and regular season. 44 games in a 53-week year. And he said it was the most grueling, hardest, longest experience of his entire life. And he was being paid to do so. You cannot have these college kids, even though I guess that's what the Ivy League's saying they might potentially do. But I just feel like you cannot have these college kids do that do that in a single year. It just seems wild.
Well,
so
especially if one of your main reasons for wanting to move the season to spring is player safety from the coronavirus.
Well, and that's where it gets odd, right? Exactly. It's kind of paradoxical. And really that just calls to the forefront that there's just no great options here. There just really aren't. And we always talk about levels of acceptable risk. And I think that's just what people have kind of reached is you're going to go forward and hope for the best and try to keep guys as safe as possible. And the math is on your side, and you just have to hope that no nightmare scenarios come to pass. I will say this, the next few weeks are going to be huge with what the numbers do and the decisions. Like the decisions that the SEC and other Power 5 conferences are going to make are probably going to come at the end of July. Football school starts on the 24th. They may even come at the beginning of August. So definitely we'll be on the lookout. We'll be updating it as the situation develops. One interesting thing that I've seen is they're making masks for football helmets. These are plastic masks that they're like visors for your eyes and they extend down to your mouth. I don't know the efficacy of these things. I am not a doctor. It does seem like a sport like football, which is constant physical contact. I don't know how much mask is doing, but we'll see. I got text out to Greg Stringfellow where I'm trying to figure out. That's the LSU equipment
hard
manager.
To breathe in.
They do.
They look extremely hard to breathe in.
For whatever it's worth, they did, because I know a lot of people are saying the same thing, like that would fog up. That looks terrible. For whatever it's worth, they did test it out with a semi-professional football league, which apparently was still playing this summer, which I was kind of like shocked about. They had their players wearing regular masks under helmets until these visor things came along.
Like the N95?
Yes.
That's even harder to breathe in if you're going to be doing physical activity. What are you doing?
They had them playing football with the actual masks on, and then Shutt came in, or whoever's making these, and they tried them out, and they said they didn't fog. Players loved them. They said it was great. So just a little bit of evidence there. We'll see. I got text out to Stringfellow, but yeah, man, I'm just, as a college football fan, I really think that it happens. I hope that it happens, but it's a little sketchy right now. Okay, when we get back, we're going to set up for Big Cat. We're also going to talk more about this Pat Mahomes contract, and I'm going to reveal to you who is the most wealthy athlete in the history of sports, and it's probably not who you were thinking. So stick around here on Off the Bench, 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Sports.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
In an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. A state senator wants to ban high school sports through the fall. We'll discuss why on Tuesday's AFR. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Grant Harold in the YouTube chat pointing out, imagine how much LSU would move up in the recruiting rankings if Mason Smith came. And you go to their Tristan Leigh in there. They're number 6 right now. That a single 5. So, yeah, they're either number 5 or 6. Like, that's one of the highlights of this class. Remember, before the rash of commitments, they were number 11 in the country with like the least amount of commitments. So it was a super quality class to begin with. They added 3 more 4 stars. And yeah, so if you add 5 stars, yes, you are going to be maybe the best class in the entire country. But what is so impressive to me, another highlight, is that 13 of the 15 commitments right now are from out of state. So the national brand of LSU right now is really resonating. And it's, I believe, validation of something that we have talked about a lot on this show, which is when you play in these championship games, and when you're kind of, well, when you play the championship games, and even more so to a specific LSU extent last year, when you kind of become the media darling that LSU did in terms of Joe Burrow's likability, his Heisman speech, Coach O's likability, and his story. I mean, you got the story about the dad earlier, which we'll replay at the end of this hour, which was just awesome. But when you become that media darling and you're constantly playing on these big stages, right? National television for that Texas game, national television for the Florida game, A&M, all that is constant advertising. It is putting your brand out there for the general public to view and decide how they feel about it. And the thing is, LSU got nothing but positive reviews last year because they just kept kicking everybody's ass. So if you were a recruit out there, you saw a school that looked super fun, looked super cool, and was super good, and went 15-0 and won the Natty and set all these records and sent guys to the NFL. And so you're seeing all of these seeds that were planted in that last football season now start to come to fruition in this spring and summer period, even with the pandemic and an inability to get these guys on campus. And think about that. That's a bit of that's a bit of an unfortunate break. LSU hasn't had many of these, but that is one of them. You just built these new facilities, and new facilities only stay new so long. Like, you only remain atop that constant rat race for a couple of years, and you lost a spring in which you could show them off, and yet you still are managing to do really good things on the trail. So we'll continue to watch that class as it goes on. I'll also continue to think about Patrick Mahomes and how badass he is. I mean, the resume is just unlike anything I've ever seen. We already declared it after the Super Bowl, but this is just further confirmation of what we already knew. He is the best player in the NFL. He has the most potential of any athlete of his generation. That is not an exaggeration. I just believe that is cold, hard fact. Him and Andy Reid, peanut butter and chocolate. They got the athletes. The front office is managing to break down all these numbers to where they can still keep players around Mahomes. As I keep alluding to, they're somehow managing to re-sign Holmes. They got Tyrann Mathieu under contract, and they're going to re-sign their stellar defensive tackle, Chris Jones, most likely as well. So this Kansas City team just looks like they're not going to stop anytime soon. But let's talk about the contract a bit more. So you've heard about it at this point. 10 years, $450 million, potentially $500 million with incentives. That is the highest value contract in modern sports history. Now, obviously, Mike Trout is fully guaranteed. Pat Mahomes is not. But that is not to say that Pat Mahomes has no guaranteed. He's got $140 million if he gets hurt. So $140 million in injury guarantees. How's that for peace of mind? And over 3 years, over a 3-year period, 2021, 2022, 2023, he is going to get $83 million in signing bonuses. He also has a no-trade clause. So that's a bit of a commitment both ways. That's like a point in Mahomes and the Chiefs' favor. Let's keep him around. He does have outs, though. I don't know exactly what the outs are without pouring through the 117 pages, but according to reports, if certain, quote, guaranteed mechanisms are not met or exercised, he would be able to get out of this deal. There's also the opportunity to get back in the top 3 if people started being paid more than he is. Now, one key element in all of this is that this is a 10-year extension. This is not a just 10-year contract starting today. He had 2 years left on his deal. They have now tacked on 10, so he is under contract for the next 12 years, right? And we looked at all the things that the Chiefs gave to Mahomes in terms of the overall number, in terms of those guarantees. This was Mahomes giving something back to the Chiefs. And one of the things that does immediately, y'all, is that means that they have at least 2 more years of like no crazy salary cap numbers. Even though the later numbers are manageable, they still are big. And they still will be that number where the quarterback's taking up about 15% of your cap. But, I mean, this season I think he's due to make like $2 million. I think a signing bonus bumps that up by $10 million. And then next year maybe it jumps up to like 20 and another 10 to make it 30. But these are numbers that you can swallow if you are a front office, and you could still manage to build a team around him. Now, the entire goal of the contract, if you listen to Kansas City talk about it, was to build it so that the salary increases parallel to the cap. And that is very good in theory, and I think that will pay dividends. Things did get a bit murkier with this pandemic, though. We mentioned this yesterday when we were talking about Everson Griffin, right? The Saints have $9 million right now. They don't know how risky they can get to overcommitting, given that for the first time in a long time, you potentially may see the cap go down next season. And that would have, like pre-pandemic, that would have felt absurd. That would have felt like a literal impossibility. And so how far does it go down? That's going to weigh on this, but even more so if Mahomes and the Chiefs, if his rising number is going to not hamstring them, if it's really going to remain parallel to the cap, the key thing Chiefs fans are going to want to watch is what happens with that new TV deal. And the worth of that new TV contract, which is right around the corner, which is why the NFL pushed it back, is because they want to have maximum value, and it's why this season being played is so important. But yeah, if that next TV deal comes through, then Mahomes and them are going to be fine for a dozen years. How about this? Some other little tidbits. First 3 years of the deal are fully guaranteed. That's the first 3 years of the extension when the big money kicks in. And then how's this for a bonus? And it just shows you how good he is. For every AFC championship or NFL MVP he wins, he'll get a cool $1.25 million. So here it is. You have the only quarterback ever to win Super Bowl MVP before the age of 25. Obviously, the only quarterback ever to win league MVP, win a Super Bowl, and be MVP of said Super Bowl at that young of an age. Shows no time slowing down. The thing is, it's not like, and I think the temptation is to be like, oh, well, he got kind of lucky, right? Everything worked out for him. But it really didn't. Remember, he got hurt. Dislocated knee, dealing with ankle injuries, dealing with thumb injuries. He still fought through all of that. So you have the best player. You have a coach who understands how to get the most out of the best player, one of the most innovative offensive minds in the entirety of the game. That best player is about to enter his prime. You have a front office that appears to be incredibly shrewd in how it manages the cap and how it manages to deal with having a big quarterback contract. And you have an organization and a player that are fully committed to each other. I mean, I just cannot help but see the parallels between the Chiefs and the Patriots in the Brady Belichick era. Like, will we be talking about the Mahomes Reed era? I think we will. Give yourself over to the Pat Mahomes hype train. The time is now. So just a fascinating contract yesterday. And okay, here's my question. So it's a 10-year deal. Saints fans out there, if I were to tell you that you were going to sign one Saints player to a 10-year extension, who are y'all signing? Musso and Dan, do y'all have a player that jumps out? I have one guy that I'd be willing to do this for right now, maybe two. And this is not like oh, I signed Breeze to one 10 years ago. No, this is like current.
You can't do that anymore.
On the roster today, who are you giving a 10-year extension to?
Cam Jordan, maybe.
Cam Jordan's age is odd, though.
He's up there, I know.
Because that's going to put him at like 42 at the end of this. I mean, absolutely a decade ago, or you wouldn't have guessed a decade ago. But yes, Cam Jordan, worth that type of extension at the age of Pat Mahomes?
That's the thing.
Not now.
There's not many players on the Saints team that are there because they're in such win-now mode. Yeah, there might be a couple.
Kamara. There's one. You're going Kamara?
Yeah. Not cool.
Can't trust
back.
it yet.
Yeah.
Running back, I agree. Musso, innately, running back's a bit sketchy. Also, while I think Kamara's going to have a really good year this year, he has been a little up and down to where there's only one guy that comes close.
Mike Thomas?
Mike Thomas would be my maybe second.
Can I guess yours?
Yeah.
Is it Ryan Ramczyk?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, how could it be anybody else? The dude's been in the league 3 years, and he's been all-pro twice.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he doesn't get the respect. He doesn't get Pro Bowl votes, but he's been all-pro. He gets the respect of his teammates, a highest-graded right tackle 3 years in. Like, he's doing this at the beginning. He right now looks like a lock for the Hall of Fame. And when you're talking about an important, what did we say earlier? Everything revolves around the quarterback. That's why tackles, both offense and defensively, gets paid so much. I would sign Ryan Ramczyk to a 10-year deal. Who would you give a 10-year extension to? We'll revisit the answers later. But coming up next, we're going to talk to Big Cat of Barstool Sports about Coach Doug's and being the head coach of the LSU football team. Stick around here on 104.5 100.3 94.7 ESPN.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, It would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet. And an eye out for danger.
If I build a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Louisiana, a state senator wants to ban high school sports through the fall. We'll discuss why on Tuesday's AFR. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench. 10500 with the 94.7 ESPN. Right now, it is my pleasure. We already had one LSU head football coach on this morning in Ed Orgeron. We are now having the other LSU head football coach on. Of course, we're talking about Coach Duggs, or the man behind Coach Duggs. Big Cat, Barstool Big Cat. Big Cat, what's going on, man? Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. I can't believe I'm sharing some space with the legend that is Coach O. I feel very blessed to be on the same program as him.
Wait, are you there, Dan?
Yes, you hear me?
Do you is his mic working? Did you get him? Is
Yeah,
Viber-
he was on hold. Yeah.
Oh crap! I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I fall for that every time. Are you kidding me? I can't get away from it. The Twitch stream has me going all night saying that my mic doesn't work, and then you do that to me. I'm like, I have PTSD that none of my mics ever work, and I can't ever talk to someone. That was a dirty but hilarious trick.
It was. I was watching last night, and when you rated Juju Smith-Schuster's stream, he was. They got him too. It's a great trick that chat plays. Anyway, we're talking to Big Cat though, and for those that don't know, he's been streaming NCAA 14. He created this Coach Doug's. He's now the head coach of LSU. I got to ask you. So when the pandemic broke out, I imagine y'all are sitting down. You're like, okay, what can we do? Blah blah. Did you have any idea when you started this journey what this was going to grow into when you started?
No, none. I actually bought the game and the Xbox 360 the day that the NCAA tournament was canceled. So I bought it not because I was going to stream, but because I was going to sit at home all day and be like, hey, I want something to do. I'm going to run out of Netflix documentaries, like murder documentaries after week one. So I'm going to need something to do and take my time up at night. So I started playing on my own, not even streaming. And then Hank, my producer, who's a little younger, was like, hey, you need to get on Twitch. I didn't know what Twitch was. I still don't really know what Twitch is. I get trolled all
Wait,
day
you
by
didn't
a
know
bunch
what
of
Twitch
teenagers.
was at all at the beginning of this?
I knew what it was. I just didn't understand it. I didn't know how big it was. I didn't know,
you weren't watching streams.
Right. I wasn't watching streams, and I also was like, oh, esports. I feel like Darren Ravel has been telling us for the last decade that esports is coming, and get ready. We're all going to stop watching real sports. We're going to start watching people play video games all day. It's like, okay, dude, whatever. So that was my mindset. And then I get on it, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. It's a huge world. There's really a lot of cool people doing a lot of cool things. And it's also the way that I've basically boiled it down. People are watching, obviously, because the game is fun, but they're really watching to just kind of hang out with me. And It's almost like a live podcast.
Yeah.
And that's what it's become. And that's the fun part, and people playing tricks on me and trolling me. But it's been great. I never thought it would be like this.
Yeah, I was trying to explain streaming to my old man because I've been watching Twitch. I mean, since I was in college, back in 2009. And that's what I said. It's like you go there because you like the host. It's like being a radio host or an entertainer, and the video game is kind of the vehicle that you go. But that said, Kat, this is where it gets crazy to me, man. And where I can't imagine what it's like being in your shoes is you're sitting here playing a game and you're playing in the Rose Bowl, but you have more people watching you than could actually physically be in the Rose Bowl. How nervous are you when you're playing a game and there's 150,000 people watching?
Yeah, so that specific game, the one you're referencing, the first time that we went over 100,000 was when I was the head coach of Tennessee and I played Virginia Tech in the national championship. And you could tell how nervous I was because I lost by 21, and it was the worst performance I've ever put out there. It definitely gets in my head a little bit when I see that number tick up. I've gotten used to – it's all, obviously – as you go through it the first time, it's like, oh, my God, 15,000 people are watching.
Yeah.
Now 15, 20,000 is kind of normal. But once if it ever ticks above 50, and that will happen for big games, like the Alabama game when we play Alabama on Sunday night, that will probably happen. Whenever that happens, I get a little in my own head and get a little nervous because people judge and people want to see you be entertaining, and you can see the number right in front of your face.
Yeah, look, I too have lost a national championship by 21, so I know that pain. But you bounced back. You got the win in Tennessee. You got the win in Toledo. You've now gone back-to-back, and what that led you to was the dream job. It led you to the Swamp, down to Baton Rouge. I loved your reaction when LSU popped up on the coaching carousel. How hyped were you when you saw the Tigers were available?
So hyped. I've said since day one that I went to the University of Wisconsin. I will go home, so to speak, if that ever becomes available. But the clear number 2 is LSU. So when that became available, it was perfect. We've had a really good experience with Coach O the last few years. We were down there a couple of years ago, a few times with the national title game. So it's kind of the second team. If you're allowed to have a second team, LSU would definitely be my second team.
Yeah, and actually, great game in Madison last night. Down early, come back, the big 31-24 win. Now, you announced this on the stream. I want to see if you're sticking by this. Take it on air. If you three-peat, if you win the Natty again undefeated, is Doug's hanging it up and moving on to a new game?
Yes, I am
Wow.
going to retire. Now, that doesn't mean Doug's is going to retire permanently, but that means Doug's going to retire for at least this time. I think the Doug storyline, trying as a content creator, trying to figure out when to pull the plug, when to bring it back. I think it would be perfect if we could win one at LSU, pull the plug for a little bit, and then sometime randomly, like in the middle of December, he rises from the ashes like Undertaker coming out of the casket, and Doug's is back for a swan song at Wisconsin or something.
That would be excellent. I love the roster names that you worked out, Kat. Lil John LeBlanc's great, little Louisiana flavor there. Bo is excellent. I was a little disappointed there's not an A-Bear on there, but that's okay.
I could add one. And I also, people are saying I really butchered Little John. I keep pronouncing the C in that, and they say that's a very northerner thing to do.
LeBlanc.
Little John LeBlanc is what I call him, yeah.
Yeah, throw an A-Bear in there, dude. That'd be awesome. Have you and PFT debated the better play? Is it Shark Wheel or Spider 2 Y Banana?
Oh, that's a good question. Now, Shark Wheel, people get really mad at me because this is a part of Twitch I don't really understand, but like I want to win the game. And when you play a video game at home, if you find a play that works, you keep running it because it's fun to have a play that works. People get really mad when I run Shark Wheel because it works almost every time, and they say that's a quote-unquote cheese play where I'm cheating against the system. But it's like, what do you want me to do? The play works. Why wouldn't you run the play that works?
Yeah.
So that's something I never understood. But I feel like I've gotten a better understanding that the Twitch commenters are always there to just try to get under my skin. And once you realize that, you can have fun with it.
Yeah, your relationship with chat has been kind of unbelievable. But it is wild though, dude, because you've gotten like just better and better and better at the game. Do you feel like you've learned like any more football through playing this much and actually like playing it seriously?
No, I mean, I haven't learned football, but I've definitely gotten better, and I would hope I get better. That's the thing is, like, people get mad that I'm better, and it's like I'm now, I don't know, I'm probably on like 1,000 hours of playing this game in the last 3 months. I would hope that I have some basic competency at anything that if I do it for 1,000 hours, I'm a little bit better. Like, if I can't do that, I don't know what I'm doing right now. So I know people are frustrated that I have gotten better, but I would hope that, again, after 1,000 hours, I'd be a little bit better.
We're talking to Dan Katz, a.k.a. Big Cat, the man behind Coach Doug's LSU football head coach. Got some big games coming up. You got a Wednesday morning game, then I think a big doubleheader Thursday night, right?
Yeah, Florida and Notre Dame on Thursday night, and then we're going to play Vanderbilt on Friday afternoon, and then Sunday night will be Bama. So that will be a lot of fun. And, I go back and forth. I'll do some games at my house, and then I'll do some games in the office where I get all the guys hanging out, and we have like a whole coaching staff that's a lot of fun. So the Notre Dame and Florida and Alabama game will all be at the office, which will make it a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to the "Don't Wake the Baby" stuff. That's some nice dad cat there.
Yes. I moved, and now my streaming office is right below his bedroom. So it's even like I moved and I have way more space, but it still is a "don't wake the baby" moment where I can't yell too loud. So, okay,
so you did a really good job of bouncing back and dealing with the pain from that first national championship loss. How do you deal with the continued pain of drafting Mitch Trubisky over Pat Mahomes, given that Pat Mahomes just signed a $450 million deal?
This was about video games. Why'd you have to do that? This is really why you got me on, right? Like, you just wanted to talk to me about this?
I saw you tweeting a Mitch Trubisky hype video earlier.
Yeah. Could you imagine being a football fan and wanting to root for the same quarterback for like a decade plus? How boring. How utterly boring would that be? I would never want that. I would never wish that on my worst enemy. Like, be like, oh, yeah, we got our quarterback set. Like, guess what? I'm only going to get to watch Patrick Mahomes for the next 15 years. That is a horrible, horrible fate that I wouldn't wish on any
Wow.
football fan.
I mean, dude, that's why you're the best. That is some unreal spin zone there from Barstool Big Cat. Hey, Dan, before we let you go, I got one more question. I am a huge nerd. I love like World of Warcraft, video games, comic books, all that stuff, always have. And I love Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. I need to thank you because you have gotten my non-nerd friends into wanting to play D&D. We are setting up a D&D group. What has it been like for you diving into this, the world of role-playing that is Dungeons and Dragons?
It's so much fun, and that's another thing. Like Twitch, I always look down on esports, and Dungeons and Dragons. Another thing I always like. I don't have time for that, and because sports have gone away for the last 3 months, we've been doing it on the podcast. It is so much fun. It's so silly. And I think you do need to have a good dungeon master.
Yes, that's the key.
We have the best. Yes, we have the best in Tim Woods, but it is so much fun. I would definitely recommend it. It's something different, especially if you have like a few friends that are going to buy in on it.
Yep.
I think it would be so much fun to do with a bunch of buddies.
Yeah, that's the key. You get an experienced DM, and if everybody's buying in, not being self-conscious, it's an unbelievable time.
And here's what I found out through, and I'm not some old wise guy, but 35 years of life is, if someone is passionate about something, I immediately respect them and interested in what they're passionate about. And if you find a dungeon master who's passionate about it, I don't care if you don't like Dungeons and Dragons. You find someone who's like, this is my passion, I love it. That enthusiasm is rare in life, and catching that is like the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Got goosebumps. All right, Dan, thank you so much for joining us this morning, man. This was awesome. Anything to say to the Tiger fans before you go out?
Go Tigers.
That's
Go
it.
Tigers.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Dan Katz, Barstool Big Cat. You know him. You love him. Part of My Take. Coach Doug's. Check him out on the Part of My Take Twitch channel. It's excellent. They got a bunch of stuff going on there. But yeah, if you're craving some LSU football, Wednesday morning game, a huge Thursday night lineup, go check it out. Thanks again, man. All right. When we get back, we're going to close up this Tuesday show. This is the second ever OTB OT. So we will close it out next here on Off the Bench. 105, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Dear Sports is our love letter to sports. Share your Dear Sports letter with us. Call 860-506-6161 and read it to us. Or share a video or text using the hashtag Dear Sports on Twitter or Instagram.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
In business, the road to success.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet. And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. A state senator wants to ban high school sports through the fall. We'll discuss why on Tuesday's AFR. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Oh, my bad. Welcome back on TBOT. 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN. It might even be more awkward because, Danny, does YouTube get the bump music or no because we don't want him to ban us? Okay. So they just awkwardly see me like bobbing. Okay, yeah, great. Good to know. Good to know for sure. Thank you to everybody, though, who's helped growing the YouTube Live. It seems like it's going really well. We love it. If you love it, like, subscribe, share it, like all that cliche stuff that you hate to hear. I get it. I get bored of hearing it too, but we are all slaves to the algorithm, and it helps us out a lot. I was thinking about ways to end today's show. First off, thank you to Coach O, Tristan Leigh, Big Cat. It was a hell of a lineup Tuesday. Very fun show. And I want to revisit part of the Coach O show because I want everybody to end this Tuesday with some good vibes, okay? I know it's very easy to get down right now. It's very easy to fall into depression, whether like you're staying at home or maybe you're just feeling upset with something at work, relationship-wise, right? You feel, whatever. You're just not feeling good, right? Well, let's go back and revisit a part of the Coach O's interview that I think can inspire you, okay, to stay the course and to keep working and to trust that good things will come your way. Here was Coach O earlier when I don't exactly remember how we got on this, but this was just explaining a story with him and his father and LSU.
You go to high school on Monday and all the students talk about what they did on the weekend. All right, so go to South Lafourche, all the students are talking about going to LSU games, and I'd never been to LSU games. So I went home and talked to my daddy. Every time I had to talk to my daddy, I had to go talk to him on the swing. So I went and talked to him. I said, "Hey, Dad, everybody goes. Not everybody. A lot of people are going to the LSU games on the weekend. Why we don't go?" He said, "Boy, we can't afford that." I said, "Okay." He said, "Well, let me tell you something. You keep on working, you won't need a ticket to the Tiger Stadium." Think about when the day that they gave me that key to Tiger Stadium. So I think about him all the time and his motivation and his foresight to push me to work hard and achieve great things.
I mean, think about that. 40 years prior, basically, 4 decades to when he would have taken over the LSU job. He had that conversation with his father, and it was a conversation had In times and circumstances were tough, right? Why don't you see your friends? Why don't I get to go to LSU games? Why don't we get to do these things? Well, sorry, so we just can't afford it. And then even for Coach O to go to LSU, to then end up leaving, go to Northwestern, to grind through the coaching ranks like he did all over the country, California, Tennessee, Miami, LSU, being with the Saints for a bit, thinking he's going to get the USC job, not getting the USC job, coming as a D-line coach, getting the interim job, despite the fact that Darius Geis went the wrong way and cost him a Sugar Bowl and a win in the interim period, still getting named head coach because Tom Herman decided to go. Like all of these little things, these little elements, and look at what it resulted in. The head coach of LSU, he now has that key. His father told him, you'll never have to pay to go to Tiger Stadium. That is now a literal truth, and he has that key. And it's due to the hard work, the perseverance, overcoming adversity, failing at Ole Miss, grind his way back to a second chance, and then succeeding. I mean, if that can't inspire you on this Tuesday, if you're feeling down, to kind of just stick with it and try to work through that negativity, then I don't know what can. So just a hell of a story there from Coach O that I know really is sticking with me, and I hope it sticks with you as well. And I hope you stick around with us tomorrow again, as it's going to be a great Wednesday show. We got Would You Rather Wednesday coming up, new OTBOT, Bruce Feldman going to stop by in the final hour. We'll talk about the kind of imperiled nature of college football, probably dive into some basketball in that last hour too tomorrow. Right, Zion and the Pels, just a few days away, and your boy is pumped. So coming out with us on Off the Bench, 104.5, 100.3, and 94.7 ESPN. Y'all all have a great day. Shout out to Danny and Musso, too, killing it.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Let's talk buttons. Not the buttons on clothes, the ones that do things. The ones